It's the OG.
It's
panda.
the OG panda.
Funny enough, I made it. And yeah, it's definitely part of me. So it's as you can see,
Look,
it's on my arm. We're all ravers.
Yeah.
So we all come from a raver background. And
but that's the thing. The heart is still, we're all ravers.
of course,
In the end,
yeah.
no matter what we do,
Of course.
you're a media person, you're an artist, you're still a raver at heart.
We were just in Japan and just randomly some guy that was with like, he had gloves on, the LED gloves. I'm like, give me those. Took it from him, and there's a video of me like gloving. And it was just the funniest thing ever. It's John Askew. John Askew was playing in Japan. It's funny enough. We ran into John Askew in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was playing when we were there randomly, and we ended up going to see him play. And I was
Just gloving?
gloving.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Back and Body Hurts podcast, where we dive into all things EDM. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm your host for this week, Sunny, and you can see we got a full panel today. And in this week's episode, I am pleased to welcome a true local legend who has helped shape our scene through events, community, and deep love for dance music since 2009. Joining us is Oz, founder of Ozmozis.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, guys. So, just a brief intro. At the core of Ozmozis event is a simple but powerful idea, connecting people through music and building genuine community. That philosophy doesn't stop with the dance floor, but also with the Oz team itself, which we will introduce in a sec. If you've attended an Ozmozis event over the years, you've likely seen familiar faces working behind the scenes. Behind every event, the team makes sure that it's a lasting night for anyone attending. They're more than just crew, they're family, as we'll get into on this podcast, because we have many, many years of history with the team here. So speaking about the team, we have Anni and Jenn joining us today too from the Oz team, who have been with Oz for probably a decade or more.
Yeah, I would say so.
For too long.
Too long. How many? Who's counting anyways?
So they'll have invaluable insight to the heart of the team and the community that they've built. If you've attended an Ozmozis event, you've definitely seen their friendly faces, either at the door, running around, helping you if you have any issues. You'll definitely see one of them. And rounding out the discussion, I mean, we're going to talk about music, so we have to bring a local DJ. We have Vaughn joining us at the end of the panel. So Vaughn is a local spinning progressive house with his perspective as an attendee to Oz events and many other events. You know, we'll get a fresh take on, I guess, the difficulties you've had or just the scene in general, which will be kind of cool to hear.
Cool.
So together with the Oz's journey, we'll talk about community, shine a light on our local scene, and talk about the future of progressive trance, which, I mean, a topic we love talking about, our trance scene and progressive scene here. And we'll see where the conversation goes. So I guess to start, how you guys doing today?
Pretty good. I'm being held with ransom here to do this podcast by these two. So, but we're here.
Yes, we locked in the date. It's like, Oz, you cannot back out now.
but we're here, and I'm happy that they were also able to come on the show, and also you for joining us.
Yes, Jenn was a last minute addition, but as I said, when we first brought the topic to Oz, I'm like, we have to bring someone from the team.
And I was like, not Jenn.
I'm just here as an emotional support.
So in the end, Anni was the one, and then Jenn came on. But honestly, I've seen them both for many, many years working Oz events, so it's great to have both their perspectives. Hopefully, we get some cool stories.
I'm already getting the side eye.
So I guess, yeah, as like, how's 2025 for you guys?
I mean, it's been great. I think 2025 was more of a transitional year for us, and I think they can also concur that it was, a year where we had to kind of like try different things to see what works and what doesn't. Especially coming out of COVID, everything was unpredictable, and it still sort of is with the economy and everything going on. It's definitely a difficult time for people to go out and have a good time and party, just financially wise. So.
Do you think that's actually the case? Because I find when COVID ended, people just wanted to go out.
That was after COVID, right after COVID. But then like 2 years after that, we kind of like inflation came in, and that kind of like really started affecting things. But right after COVID, it was fire. It was.
I remember. I wanted to go to every event every weekend at that point.
And we did we did a couple of shows back to back almost, right? But then we all got COVID.
At some point.
At some point.
Did you guys get COVID at an event? Okay.
I
Yep.
mean, yeah.
Have you
Oh,
guys?
yeah.
Never.
Okay.
Our first event back, I was sick from COVID, and
Yeah.
I went to work with a mask on, and then
Or-
somehow everyone else ended up with COVID. The exact same event.
Yeah.
Wasn't me though.
No,
So
no.
this is the one where I was in Miami, and then all of you got sick, and then the DJ couldn't make it to Miami.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. It was. I think it was our second event when literally the whole crowd got sick, and then the third event, a lot of people didn't even make it because they sold their tickets,
Yeah.
or they just didn't show up because
It's kind of one of those things you plan too much ahead, and you're just like, oh, I can't make it after day 3.
But the crazy part too, that our first event was Marsh coming back, and he didn't make it to the party.
Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember?
He missed his flight? No.
Something, but yeah, something like that.
He
I
was
think
stuck at LA.
it was stuck in
Yeah.
LA traffic, so he just moved to
Yeah.
LA, and he never realized how
How
bad
bad
the
it
traffic
was.
was in LA. And I've been there, and the traffic is
It's-
freaking awful. And but yeah, I got the call. I was like so excited, ready for the party, first party back after so many years, and I get a call in the hotel room, and I'm like, I was like, it was like, what do we do? So there's not much we could do. I asked Tom to send us a video that we can post, that we let people know ahead of time. And we told people that we'll make up for the ticket if they don't want to come next time. But we gave options to people, different options.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a lot of people still turned out.
Yeah, it
It's
was
really
still a full
busy.
party.
Yeah.
It was still a busy party. Everybody was still there to support the brand, and which is amazing to see, because at the end of the day, it's kind of scary. Like, are people going to go now?
Yeah, it's true. And we'll definitely talk about the brand, because I think one of the things from our community is the Oz brand is very well known. You know what you're expecting when you go to an Ozmozis event, which is something you guys, it doesn't happen overnight. It's happened, as I said, you guys have been here for a decade for working with Oz. Obviously that's taken over time, but you have a loyal community and following, which we'll get into, I guess, a bit later on. But I guess right now you guys have made your home as the bunker and like Brickworks, I guess, for the summertime, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing bunker just recently. It just opened up, so I think it's September last year.
I love the new renos.
You
Like,
the
I love
venue?
like the void sounds, and their sounds so good.
Are you talking about bunker or
Bunker.
Bunker's function one.
Oh, function
Yeah.
one, right,
Yeah.
right. Function one.
Function one.
I always I look at the cone thing. I'm like,
They're
oh,
very,
it's
very,
a-
very
yeah.
similar. They're very, very similar. But I think Void was Story has Void. But
Yes, story.
but yeah, it's a great venue. It's obviously, there's not many small venues out there that have that kind of a good sound system and vibe, and person who's in charge running the venue. So it's a great spot. We haven't done small intimate events like that in a long time, since we were doing it at Toika, which, funny enough, I was parked beside today, and it was completely torn down. And I took a video of it. It was kind of sad, actually.
Rest in peace to all our old venues,
Yeah.
especially
So-
the government.
But Brickworks is really where we mostly focus on. But this summer also, we're trying out a new venue that's just opening up called Demo Room.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna have an event there for the World Cup on June 20th. I think it's pretty safe to say that it's gonna be Guy J, and he's gonna be playing all night long. So,
Nasty.
Nice.
since I signed the contract.
I haven't announced it yet.
I know. That's why I just announced it.
That's all right. I mean,
You get an
It's-
exclusive.
it's fine. It's gonna be announced by the time this comes out. But yeah, and then obviously Brickworks has been our home for our summer shows. Obviously, it's a great spot for daytime parties, and that's somewhat our home as well. And by 2027, that's going to be more predominantly also our home throughout the whole year.
Nice. Did you guys have a booking you enjoyed in 2025? Like something that was like, just like as a team, like that was
I already know
Annie?
what they're going to say.
I had a booking.
Which one?
I was actually on his ass for a while about it.
Oh yeah.
And it finally happened, which was Simon Patterson
Oh, yeah.
back-to-back John Askew. That was really important to me.
I was
had
excited
to.
for that one too. I
Yeah.
think we'll definitely talk about Trance,
Yeah.
because one of the big slogans was we're bringing the Trance vibes back, which was a big selling point for a lot of people, and just seeing those two legends back at Coda,
I got to say, I had a great time. The music was fantastic.
it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
And those two, they're great when it comes to playing good trance music. So yeah, Simon Patterson and John Askew was definitely a great event that we were all wanting to do. We were all super genuinely excited about that show, because it's been so long since they've been in the city, and
How long was that like discussion with them?
it was like almost a year. almost
a
8
while.
It
months
was
or
a
so.
long time coming.
And it's tough because it's really difficult to sometimes convince venues to be able to host trance just because the bar sales are not the best, and it's just it's that's why we don't also see many trance events in the city, right? But yeah, we'll probably get to that.
Yeah, nice. Was there something, I guess, for like insider? Was there anything in 2025 that people don't know about that Ozmozis as a group did? Something milestone?
I mean, well, not necessarily 2005, but it's mostly over the years. I think. I mean, for 2025, it was not something internal that we did, but for this year, we're launching a label.
Oh, nice.
So that's something that this is fresh and new. It's something that we're just discussing, and that's something that many people don't even know about yet.
Mhm.
That's something that I can definitely share. But I mean, in the past, we have done things such as like back when I was doing Toika, when we were doing more promotional techniques where it were different back then, right? We didn't rely so much on social media.
Mhm.
Back then, it was all about flyers and posters, and that's how you got the attention of people or promoters. And during that time, I used to hire a guy who was homeless. And he managed to find work, and managed to find an apartment to live in, and that really made me happy. So that's something that we did that was kind of contributing back to society. But yeah, we've done other stuff like work with kids, kid camps.
Yeah. Got to bring new trance fans and progressive fans into the too.
But yeah, we definitely like I said, last year and the year before was more like a transitional year for us as a company.
That's good.
And but we do plan on doing some really cool stuff working with community at Evergreen Brickworks.
Was that transition because of the recession, like that you saw with people, like kind of?
Yeah, I would say so. Internally as well, I think many people might know that I used to have a partner and we're no longer partners. So that's small things like that. It was a transition period within the company as well. Changes for the good, but obviously changes that we have to kind of go through to grow.
But to add to your point, in 2025, I felt like there was a lot of going back to the old roots of Ozmozis, like even doing Sarah Passon and Ask You, having a lot of the extended
That's
sets.
a very, very valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like really focusing on a lot of the talents that really helped build Ozmozis at your initial phases. I felt 2025 was a big year for that.
See, I'm glad I brought her.
That was very well said, and that's how the community felt. That's how the community felt too, right?
Yeah.
Like once again, I've been attending Oz events for 10 plus years, and that's just how it felt.
No,
Like,
definitely,
we're
yeah.
back to.
Yeah.
I know we're bringing the trance vibes back, and we'll get into that, blah blah blah. But like just seeing that, and I saw a lot of old faces too come
yeah.
out for the event, which was the key thing about the community, right? So it was great.
Sometimes I'm so deep, like I dive so deep into all of this and like working. You don't realize that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the point she just made, yeah, it's a great point. It's sort of like kind of going back to roots.
Yeah, no, it really felt that way for me last
Mhm.
year, and seeing so many faces I hadn't seen even before COVID. So
Mhm.
it was really nice.
Very true. Very true. A lot of people started coming out that we haven't seen since before COVID, right?
Yeah. And then obviously we'll talk about the trance resurgence that may be happening right now. But I guess we'll dive into your history. As that you've been around for a long time, Oz.
I guess I'm.
And you probably have a lot.
I'm
of
an
cool
old
story.
fart.
You probably have a lot of cool stories as well.
I'm in my 40s now, so getting there. I still feel like a 25.
Look good.
Party like a 25.
You look good. You look
Thanks.
good.
I appreciate that. Thanks. It's all the party.
We always say raving keeps you young.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. All the music and dancing and
Yeah.
good vibes. That's at the end of the day.
It's good cardio.
Gets
If you're a tracker, you're like, oh my god.
No,
Yeah, I don't. I know Jen does.
I know. I'm like obsessed with my
I think.
steps.
What was your steps at Stereo on New Year's Eve?
Oh, for Digweed last year, it was like 90,000 steps.
We were there for 10 hours.
Like 95,000 steps. Yeah, I was like, my goal is to get to 100K, and I was like, no, that's crazy.
Oh my god. My goal is to get to 100K. Like just in that scenario, that's kind of crazy. Because I ran a half marathon and I'd only hit like 30,000.
Yeah.
Oof, like
I
I play
like mine per week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play soccer and like I hate running,
Yeah.
but I love soccer. So.
I mean, I've done 2 half marathons, and I would say if you did like a half marathon dancing the entire time, it probably wouldn't feel so bad.
Okay.
You'd probably get a bit more stamina.
Yeah. That was my logic doing the half marathon too. I'm like, I've technically trained for this slightly, but
yeah, like I
but
just trained this
not-
my whole life.
not exactly, because
Yeah.
at a certain point I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, I'm about to cramp out.
Oh no, I was dying. The last 5 kilometers, I was like, I want to quit. How do I get out of here?
Now after 40, everything just randomly starts to hurt.
Awesome. I guess what's something you miss about the scene 10 years ago? Or
I mean,
Ticket price is one.
you know,
That's a really good one.
I think I miss the entertainment district that we used to have. I miss the
Oh, yeah.
government, you know, an institution that kind of closed out. The circle, like I miss the entertainment district that we used to have and the support that we used to get in entertainment and music, which you don't see much these days. But
Yeah, I felt like it was a vibe. Like when I
Yeah.
went to like government or that area, it was just people bustling every single time. It's like you can go from one party to the next to the next.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it felt like we had an actual like entertainment district.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that I know people say King West right now would be like that, but I'm like,
No,
it's not the
it's not the
same.
same.
It's not the
It's
same.
not the
No.
same.
I mean, when I first started doing this, I was obviously doing co-check at a club called This Is London.
Yeah.
And that was 2007 or so. And obviously we first started doing parties in 2009. So around that time, our entertainment district was quite, you could
Yeah.
find whatever at any time of the week. Like Wednesdays was way back, playback,
Yeah.
Euro nights. So you can go hear like Euro music, and
Mm.
Tony Monaco was running that, Z103.
Tony Monaco.
But yeah, so it's like, you know, we had a lot of options. You know, now Thursday nights we had for example, Thursday nights was great because it was an industry night at a club called like Cobra, which was on King Street. But
Mhm.
you know, and I've hung out with some amazing people there. We hung out with Dead Mouse, Avicii, just, you know, it was different. And obviously we lost some of that. Condos obviously was the main culprit of it. But yeah, it's changed quite a lot. And yeah, I don't know if we're gonna ever see an entertainment district like the one we had again.
I don't think so. You need the city's help
Yeah.
immensely on that. And every single time you always run into a hurdle with the city, restrictions, sound bylaws, something that is just like, well, we're never going to get there because
Isn't it in Montreal they get subsidized by
That's
Like,
true.
they do-
Yeah,
they
and
do.
that's, you
government?
know, same
Yeah.
with like, you know, Picnic Electronic, right? You know, there's a lot of, there's so much more you can do in Montreal, whereas we can't do here just because of the sponsorships and subsidization that the government gives. But-
and we're not the only city suffering. I know that. I know Chicago.
oh no,
New
this
York,
is a
they're all-
worldwide
they're
phenomenon. So it's,
all the major cities and a lot. I think Montreal is the only outlier, and maybe LA, but LA is kind of weird in the
But,
sense
you know,
of they
still-
just take over a warehouse.
stereo is an institution, right? So
Yes.
people go there and they know what they're getting. So it's tough right now. I think nightclubs are on a decline around the whole world. So it's people don't want to be in a club till 5 a.m. You know, and people want to go out. They want to have a good vibe. They want daytime events, and
Mhm.
we kind of noticed this back in like 2019, and that's when we started doing our first daytime events at Brickworks.
Nice. And then I guess along the way you're like, oh, let me start DJing.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because it's weird. All the other artists like John O'Fleming, who's a really good friend of mine, and you know, he's always wondered, like he always asked me, why don't you DJ?
Yeah.
And you know, I just didn't feel like, for me, like I have a background for music. I studied music. I was in a band. I play bass, so music was always sort of like a part of my life. And yeah, it just kind of just happened that, you know, one day I decided I want to experience what others are experiencing. Like as an event organizer, I'm always behind the DJ kind of thing. And also I think it brought me more joy to what I do. I think
Yeah.
there was a period when I kind of was like, really didn't enjoy what I was doing. I think it was just the combination of like the business. It really weighed a lot on my shoulders, and I was looking for an escape actually. So, and DJing became an escape.
Oh, that's
It,
nice.
it became another way for me to connect with the dance floor. It became another way for me to love what I'm doing again.
Yeah, just allows you to like, as you've already started, greater appreciation for the scene as well.
One thing I don't like doing is booking myself.
Yeah.
That's one thing. That's one thing. I'm like, you know, we didn't build Ozmozis for me as a DJ. We built Ozmozis to give other people opportunities.
One of the local collectives we work with, Takeover 6, well, the owner is like, he didn't start DJing. He started Takeover 6 and he didn't start DJing. But he's like, if something goes wrong with the equipment, I want to be able to be the guy to fix. That was his mindset to do it too. And now, I mean, last night he just played Noir,
Okay, cool.
which is kind of cool, just with the opportunities he
Amazing.
got too.
Yeah, no, it's again, yeah, it's another way for us to connect.
People keep telling me to do it because I'm the
Why
guy. I listen to Eric Pritt a lot. I'm the guy who's like, Echo Stage ID, you know, this one.
You
This
know
one.
them
So
all.
I know a lot.
That was great though. Did you hear his set from like 2 days ago?
No.
Oh, the Epic
yeah.
Radio.
He just didn't. Oh man,
Check it
Oof.
out.
That new music he's made. Oh,
he's-
like I can't wait to see that guy live again. Man.
Yeah, as I said, it's always a treat to see him. But I'm the type of guy who's like going through the track list, remembering this. Like, why aren't you DJ? I'm like, I just don't have
It is, you know,
Not a good
honestly, it
library.
is time consuming though. Like people don't realize how time consuming it can be because like you don't want to be one of those DJs that go out and play the same music all the time
Yeah,
either.
that's
So
true too.
being DJ is about finding new music that other people don't have that you get to play out, and that's the key.
I'm also the type of guy when you look at my story, it's just like, oh, dubstep, trance. This is just like, what do you want to do?
I mean, I don't think genres are that important anymore. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
Good
that's
to
true.
know.
So I guess as you mentioned about the business aspect, and that's why you started like you wanted to connect more, so you started DJing. But is it a full-time job running Ozmozis?
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much always was sort of like a full-time job. But when I first started doing it, I was at the same time, I was managing a club. I was working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 at a marketing company. So it really started becoming a full-time job when I left my other daytime full-time job.
Mhm.
But, you know, so, and it had to because I couldn't do a daytime job Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then build this at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in focusing on one thing and putting all your focus and love and attention on that one thing versus doing multiple things. Because when you do multiple things, this is a distraction from your vision and your goal. And your
Yeah.
dreams.
Yeah, because you're literally working 9 to 5, and then 5 to 9, 5 to 10, 5 to 11.
Yeah,
in
for
order to do
sure.
it.
And
It's-
you know, maybe you can do it when you're young, right?
Yeah.
When you're 25, you can do it no problem. And that's how it was.
it's still pretty hard.
But you know, it does after a while take its toll. And I burnt out before, and
Mhm.
and I, you know, you guys have seen me burnt out before as well. Right after like COVID, I think it was like
Yeah.
23 and 3 or 2024. It was pretty bad. I was like drinking, I was partying, and it was just like I was really trying to mask all that away. But you know, that's why I have amazing people that work with me that always, you know, they're there to poke you.
Yeah.
They're
They're there
they're there to
they care.
they hold you
They care.
responsible
They
for
care.
your
Yeah.
mistakes and like
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Real quick, if you're planning on attending any events overseas, you need to sort out your mobile data before you go. No one wants to be that person hunting for dodgy Wi-Fi just to load their ticket or find their friends at 2 a.m. Use Airalo. It's an app that lets you instantly download eSIMs for basically any country. It's super easy. Pick your destination, buy a plan, and boom, you've got data as soon as you land. It's way cheaper than roaming, and you'll be set for maps, messaging, all the fest photos, no stress. Best part? You can get 15% off with our code BNBHertz15. Just head to airalo.com or grab the app and enter the code at checkout.
those are the people that you want around you.
And a lot of
that
people
hold you
don't have that, so
responsible.
it's good that you have
Yeah,
that.
for sure. You really need the people that there. And you know, sometimes as much as the truth hurts, you gotta hear it, man. And because that's how we grow.
Mhm.
Awesome.
I
Well
feel
said.
like in many ways though, like you betting on yourself and working on Osmosis full time is what led you to being able to do large events at Brickworks. Because prior to that, we were doing like Bola and Toika, like a lot of smaller venues. But it's like when you really bet on yourself, you have to put 100% in to succeed.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a lot of risk and a lot of obviously ups and downs.
It stresses us out. We've run a mini event for the podcast, and we're like, oh, this is too much stress. This is too much stress for us.
Yeah. But you know, it's all worth it.
I think when you see the people on the dance floor appreciating what
It's
you're
all worth
putting
it,
out, it's we hear that from every collective. When you see the people having a good time, it just drives you more to do more and more. And also supporting your local scene, seeing local DJs grow is another thing that I think is so rewarding with the brand.
Well, for sure. Yeah, 100%. And like we've worked, like, you know, we want to push that local scene more, but it can be really difficult. But you know, we'll probably get to that eventually. So
Yes. So I guess the building of Osmosis. So you said you had to make it full time. Obviously, you didn't start it full time. I'm assuming it took a couple of years.
it
before
did.
you-
Yeah, it did. It did. It took almost like, I'm trying to remember how many years it took here, but it took at least like 8 years or 10. Like we're what, 17 years now? I think this is our 17-year anniversary. So
17.
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like it's all just starting now.
Awesome.
So I don't think we started 17 years ago. To me, it actually feels like it's all just coming together now. And this is, that 17 years was just, it was the years of just, it was a test, you know?
For those of you guys listening,
It's a
as
long
I said,
test.
you can never rush this.
Yeah. And it's,
sometimes you
know,
don't know.
I'm
how
gonna,
long
I'm gonna
it'll
say,
take.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I was in Miami in 2010. There was a guy named Hernan Cataneo, and He was there on the dance floor, and I saw him, and I went right up to him. I said, "You know, Hernan, I'm gonna book you one day. I'm gonna book you one day." Turns around to me, he says, "Well, he knew my name at the time because all the other DJs were telling him, you got to play for this guy, Oz." Turns around and says, "Oz," hits me on the shoulder, and he says, "Patience." So
Come on.
from that day, that stuck with me like crazy.
Yeah.
And behold, a year later, we ended up booking him and working together with Footwork. And that was our first time working with Hernan,
That was a great night.
and it was a great party. And it's just so weird how life works like that,
And
right?
he's come back.
And boom,
He's coming back, guys.
and he's coming back. He's coming back on June 13th at Brickworks for the World Cup. But yeah, he amazing guy, amazing person, and he's always trying to help other people and guide other people, and really that's what it's about. We're all here to guide each other. None of us none of us know what's going to happen, right? And everyone has ways of doing these things in the scene. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way.
Everyone's learning.
I think it's just
it
like
changes so much. You
Yeah.
don't know, right? Especially like AI now. How to use AI to help promote your company or like take it to the next step. Man, we have to learn AI too in order to do it.
Oh man, like I'm actually we're actually starting to get into that too now. Even a graphic designer is like, I want to start doing some AI stuff too. But it's it's gonna help, right? It's the future. It's pretty wild to me that like you can make a track now in AI, and I mean it's you see it. It's
Yeah.
So the ASOT theme song, the one Armin made with Richard Duran, the vocals is all AI.
It was all AI, right?
It's all done by I think Discosis. It's their voices, and you could not tell. Like
No, I mean, who's the average guy on the dance? Joe Mo is gonna tell on the dance floor, like
No.
I
I heard that
It's done in
ID.
5
I heard that ID
minutes. It's
last
crazy.
year. I'm like, this is amazing, and then I find out it was AI. I'm like, I would not have been able to know, which is just crazy to think about. That it's just AI now.
But yeah, we have to. The thing in this industry is like it's always ever changing. Yeah, we go through cycles every 10 years or so with the musical cycles, but it's ever changing. So yeah.
So just to take it back even further.
Yeah.
So obviously you're working your 9 to 5, and you're like, when did the idea for doing Ozmozis start?
So, funny enough, I was doing co-check at This Is London. So at that point, I was meeting a lot of people because I'm doing co-check. Everyone's coming to co-check, right? I'm the first person they're seeing in the club. So I started meeting people, and the idea came about that hey, like why don't we do an event? Like we have this. At the time, I was introduced to a club owner, and he's opening a club, and right at the same time, I was looking to do something. We were looking to do events, and it just kind of happened random like that. Funny enough, I think that was the year when I decided to host events. That was the year Sasha was playing at This Is London. And I have a photo. I'm actually opening for him at Coda next month. I have a photo of me poking the DJ boot, which I'll send you to you later.
Oh, yeah.
Me poking the DJ boot, pointing at Sasha, and behold, like years later, we booked him, and now I'm opening for him at Coda. Yeah, it's funny how life works.
Yeah, it's still a full circle moment, even how long you've been in the scene.
Sometimes you're just like,
crazy.
whoa, it's like, is that really happening? Is it a dream or?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's beautiful and how it works, but I've always yearned about creating a community where for fans to connect, something then more than just going to watch a DJ play, a place where people can meet each other, become friends. Even if they're going solo, they can go and meet other people because it's a good vibe and everybody's there for each other. So, and for us, with what we do, it's about bringing people together. It's not about segregating and separating genres or whatever. It's a place where people come together and they're there to support each other. If you've had a tough week, you're there going to release, and that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people. It is a release. Events are an escape for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Which is
Yeah.
really good.
Exactly.
So obviously, that's funny story. You're co-check. You're doing your co-check. You meet a lot of people. Did you see anything missing from the scene though? That you're like, oh,
yes, of course. We were at the time there was trance parties happening, right?
Yeah,
but there was not many shows happening in that genre, and yes, there were shows happening at the government and whatnot, but they were all bigger artists, so it wasn't like the smaller artists that we were bringing, and we wanted to try to kind of like target that genre and see what comes about it. And at that time, trance was still quite popular. It was maybe getting to the ends of like it was changing quite a lot around 2010. So especially with the EDM coming in and the commercialization of the whole scene. But
I was trying not to cough
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay.
I thought you were just making fun of me
Sorry.
again, but that's okay.
It's all natural, guys.
But, it's yeah, it just happened. And I was a big fan of trance music, and I still am, and I just love. There's those tracks where you just close your eyes and just like hands up in the air, man, and that's.
We'll definitely get into that because I feel like nowadays generation doesn't have time for that.
I know, but it's just it still hits me,
When we had Evangelos on, he talked about, I think it was a Sasha set. It was like only 5 tracks or 8, like I think it was like 6, 7 tracks, 1 hour. But nowadays you will never see that.
No.
You'll never see that. No one has time for a 3-minute build up.
No, and unfortunately, yeah, obviously the attention spans are gone. But yeah, I mean, again, we're all ravers, so we all come from a raver background. And we were just in Japan, and just randomly some guy that was with like he had gloves on, the LED gloves. I'm like, give me those. I took it from him, and there's a video of me like gloving, and it was just the funniest thing ever. It's John Askew. John Askew was playing in Japan. Funny enough, we ran into John Askew in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was playing when we were there randomly, and we ended up going to see him play. And I was
just gloving
to it.
I'll send you that video.
Yeah,
okay. We'll probably put it in the video.
Oh, it's great. It's great. 100%.
He's gonna be the next big lover.
But it's again, yeah. I was a raver, right? And our roots, we come from the dance floor, and I think that's what.
Photos of you with glow sticks on the speaker stack.
Oh yeah. There's one random like older Asian gentleman and myself on the middle of the podium, while everyone is on the floor dancing. Harry Potter's in the photo too. But yeah, it's just me in there with glow sticks and just like with my hoodie tied on my jeans and my pants.
Yeah.
Totally 90s boy.
But that's the thing. The heart is still, we're all ravers.
Of course,
in the end,
yeah.
No matter what we do,
of course.
You're a media person, you're an artist, you're still a raver at heart. You don't get into the scene unless you start off as a raver, especially supporting the local scene, right? You see what's going on, then you just take the next step. I have how did the logo ever come about? Because I love the logo.
So yeah,
it's iconic. To me,
do you like this logo? So it's funny enough, we went through like multiple different logos over the years.
Yeah.
So this logo has evolved, but I believe even for the ladies, this is your favorite.
This
is my favorite.
It's the OG.
It's
panda.
the OG panda.
Funny enough, I made it, and yeah, it's definitely part of me. So as you can see, it's on my arm.
It's so funny 'cause there's that random
funny story from this is I was in. We'll get back to how the idea of the panda head came apart. But funny story with the panda, how I got this tattoo was I was in Amsterdam in 2017, I believe, summer. I went to go see We Are Lost there. Yeah. And it was an amazing show. And obviously in 2019, we brought that brand here to Canada, to North America for the first time. But after the event, it was like 7 a.m. in the morning. And I was just kind of like walking around and looking for something to do. And walking by a random tattoo shop, this rocker guy with long hair was like, "Hey, need a tattoo?" I was like, "You know what, man? I kind of do actually." And I was going through a really tough time at the time with just life and
So that tattoo was done in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was done in Amsterdam. One of my favorite places to go during Amsterdam dance event. No, actually, that was not during Amsterdam dance event. That was a different time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was outside of dance event. Even though I've been to the dance event many times, but yeah, honestly, I got this tattoo to remind me to never forget where I started.
Nice.
So it's a reminder to never forget that and continue what I'm doing.
And now it's permanently on that.
Yeah, no. My mom was like, "What is that on your arm?" But no, they got over it pretty quickly.
You really like getting tattoos while on trips.
Oh well, yeah. I don't know if I should show the next one now, but I might as well. Okay, well, I might as well now.
We have show and tell.
So this one I got in Japan.
Mr. Sparkle.
So it's Mr. Sparkle. And he's saying Ozmozis in Japanese. So this idea is because I love Japan and this is how I learned about Japan in this episode. And yeah, that's the story. He's saying Ozmozis.
That is
just
hilarious.
Random.
I knew about this one. I actually didn't know about that one.
Yeah,
I knew about this one.
My dad yelled at me for that one.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so it's if I go to places where like it really like touches my heart, I like to get a tattoo in that country. So, and usually the tattoo relates us to something in the music scene. In this case,
So
branding myself.
Keep an eye. Stay tuned in the next.
But
maybe
yeah,
1 or
branding
2
myself. Who
years.
knows where the next tattoo is going? But yeah, is that Panda logo? Going back to the Panda logo. So the idea, it's the name actually itself. Obviously, was just really random. I was trying to think of names like my first 2 letters, obviously Oz. I was trying to just come up with something catchy, and
I always spell Ozmozis wrong.
everybody does. I even did.
I think
He did today
He
too.
spelled it wrong.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
Even when we were working on this together, it's just like the amount of times I went back, I'm like, oh, it's spelled wrong all here.
Everybody has a funny thing about that is everybody does, and we're so used to it. But even in Google, like I look at our Google searches,
Yeah.
most of the searches are spelled wrong, but they still show up in the Google search because everyone's so used to
It's
spelling it
been-
that way.
Or
So.
even just trying to get like EMTs for tickets, and everyone spells osmosis wrong when they're sending
Yeah,
us.
so
yeah,
that's going to
yeah.
wrong email. But yeah, I know, and you know, osmosis, water filtration, science geek, and all that
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
So and we met. I changed 1 letter on it just because I wanted to show up in Google searches, and it was catchy, you know. And you'd be surprised how many people don't actually make the 2 connection.
Oh,
I'll be at an event and someone will be talking to me and like, oh yeah, oh you're running the event, cool man, what's your name? I'll be Oz, and like 5 minutes into the conversation goes, and it's like, wait a minute, are you Oz of Osmosis? Happens.
I'm surprised
I wonder
actually.
that's so funny. It's like I've traveled so many times where like I'm in New York, or even when I was at EDC in Vegas, and so many people know who you are. They'll be like, oh, like I'm from Toronto and I work for Osmosis, and they're like, oh, Oz is doing great events like trance, progressive, and so forth.
Oh yeah, we do have definitely international presence, and
Yeah.
and you know,
As I said, the presence is felt around the community. You
and
just-
amazing, and yeah, and I meet a lot of people that are still just coming out to the events for their first time. So
Yeah.
I think those are the ones that are like, wait a minute, are you Oz of Osmosis? But yeah,
Yeah, awesome. So I guess we talked about obviously Trance as the start.
Yeah.
So was the first event Trance?
oh, we didn't
Oh,
talk about
oh.
how the Panda Head though.
Oh, that
so,
too.
so
Yes,
the
yeah,
Panda
let's
Head,
go
the
there.
Panda Head came about. So I had this Panda Head that was
Yeah.
just sitting around, and I had a friend I was just sitting in a hot tub one day, and I had a friend mention, hey, you know, you have that Panda Head. Why don't you make it into a logo? So I was like, oh, I mean, why don't you make it your mascot?
Mhm.
So and that my buddy was Chris. So and yeah, so it's that's how the idea came about, and I ended up creating this logo, and it caught on. It was very, very catchy after that. And we had this Panda Head that was a mascot that would come out at the parties.
Mhm.
So imagine you're just like raving, and next thing you know,
I haven't
there's
seen that in a while.
Got
yeah,
stolen.
it didn't really get stolen, I would say, but we were doing a kids camp.
Oh, okay.
We were teaching kids how to DJ.
Yeah.
It was the Kiwanis Boys and Girls Club,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you know
They really
they
liked
loved
the
it so
head.
much.
They loved it.
They loved it so
we,
much.
we just didn't have the
Souvenir.
heart to like take
take
it
it away.
away.
But I tell you, I don't know how many years of dirty raver sweat was on that thing.
Oh.
But didn't you buy another panda head?
No,
Because we had one. Who was wearing the panda head at Brickworks before COVID?
I have one.
Oh, you do? Okay. I was like, I swear I remember seeing photos of people randomly wearing the head in the crowd.
Annie, where is it?
I haven't brought it out in a while.
But where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
It's at home right now.
Just,
Maybe-
I have one too at home. I'm not gonna
Okay,
lie.
everyone has one except for me. I do not have
Maybe
one.
it'll make an appearance.
And somebody just brought me slippers to wear, and they're giant panda heads.
Aw.
I should wear them at a party.
Oh my
next
god,
time.
they sound so cozy.
They are cozy.
Yeah, I want some.
I should just wear it at the party next
Yeah.
Brickworks party. Just bust them out.
Yeah, with your panda hoodie.
yeah, we gotta bring it back. As I said, I haven't seen it in like a year.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and you know what? I've always thought about actually like making a custom one again, like
Yeah.
something really crazy cool. You know, who knows? Maybe that's an idea now.
When did you dye the panda head green? Because it wasn't originally green, right?
Yes, it wasn't originally green. It was white before, and then we kind of dyed it green. And then Sid Van Riel, who's the first DJ we booked in 2009, he kind of wrote on it. He wrote, "Always your first." Sid Van
Oh, really?
Riel.
Oh.
So
So I got a question about that because you booked Seed. I forget how popular he was at that time.
it was pretty popular. I
Back
mean, like,
then, that's probably one of the peaks.
it was the
'Cause that
peak
was
period.
just after like ASOT and stuff.
Because for that time he was it was that was our first party, and it was not bad for a first party.
So you wanted to do international artists right off the bat, or was that the
There was
the initial
local- there was-
idea
there
was
was-
like the big guys are getting booked, like the big guys at like government, but no one's bringing the little guys. or the little or
Little
that
little international. Essentially that. Essentially, I mean, in the meantime, we also support a lot of locals by giving them chances to open up for these DJs, right? So
What venue was it at?
it was funny enough. It was that Story.
Oh,
So
like the
it was
original
called
Story.
it was called
Vola.
Vola back
Vola,
then. It was
yeah,
called
yeah.
Vola back then, but funny enough, we did a trance party there last year, and that was kind of like a weird full circle, wasn't it? Well, you weren't really around at the time, but she was. But yeah, Vola was interesting. Funny enough, we did a lot of parties there, man. We had WW there. We had Marcel Woods, Wippenberg, John Fleming, Andy Moore, and funny enough, one night we were doing an event there, and even Tiesto was gonna come by. But we'll get to that anyway.
that story.
Interesting. Awesome.
That was a funny story. That was an interesting one.
So I guess with the current home of Bunker, when did when did you decide to like make that like the new spot?
I mean, Bunker was always it was in the works for a while. They were getting it ready, and it took a while for them to open up. But we've already made plans to get stuff there from like a year and a half ago or so. So it's been in the plans for a while.
Mhm.
And we're really we're blessed to be working at such an amazing venue, and we're happy that they're able to share their venue with us to do these events, because it's really hard to come by such professional, great venues.
Mhm.
And for us, it's all about working with people who are professional, who are passionate, and that's key for us.
Mhm.
But the attention to detail is great too. Like the
Exactly,
sound
yeah.
quality, like always making sure that the function ones are optimal, the friendliest staff, like the lights, even like the individual unique lights in each stall of the bathroom, like just little tiny details that I love about that venue.
So it's also Toika, you had
Yeah.
That
That was literally the first thing I said when I stepped into Bunker. I was
Mhm.
like, wow, this reminds me of Toika,
Yeah.
which
That's
was
so
our
much better.
home, but like, yeah.
Toika
evolved.
on
Elevated.
steroids.
On steroids, exactly. On
Yeah.
steroid elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is also like kind of, I guess it's good because it brings people back memories, right? That the whole intimate feel, and we did the whole no phones. Well,
It's surprising because usually most of them become a condo or something. It's
Yeah.
just like you just lose the space. And it's nice to come back full circle to like those venues and saying like, it
100%.
still exists. Maybe they changed exactly like the industry where obviously we had a huge hip hop phase. We had a different sounds coming in. So obviously I think that's what happened with Voila. And then I forget how many times.
Well, they were doing a lot of hip hop parties after.
Yeah.
They stopped doing. Obviously, when a club is at its last legs, where you're having a top time, pay the monthly rent, it makes it difficult, especially when it comes to doing events where trance events weren't really that profitable at the bar.
No.
It still is not. So, and that's just the way it has always been. Funny you mentioned doing hip hop parties. We were doing one New Year's Eve party, and Tory Lanez was playing in the other room.
Oh yeah.
And more people were getting carried out of that room than our room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I know it
all
was.
trance lineup, and then there was hip hop.
Yeah, they drink a lot.
Liberty Grand.
Yeah, and
It always impressed me, especially when Rebel was doing their Revolutionary Saturdays and like say they had an event like Noir or something. I walk out and you just see everyone plastered coming out of Rebel. I'm just like, damn. I'm like, damn, people going ham.
Yeah.
That place scares me.
Yeah. So I guess many events over the year. Any notable ones over the years? Stuff that have stuck with you?
for myself, I love that Ozmozis 200 party that we did at Liberty Grand, because it was for us literally at the peak of where we were in trance music.
I think that was also our largest event we had done
Yeah,
at
we had
that time.
2,000 people
Yeah.
at that event, and that was definitely our peak. But and then obviously comes COVID after 2 years later. But yeah, I we're gonna do something like that again.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that question's coming, but yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing a really special trance party again, probably at Brickworks. So
Nice.
I
I love Brickworks.
I don't know.
love the
I don't know
space.
when. Maybe Halloween, but
Yeah.
I'm not too sure yet.
How about you guys, Annie and Jen? You guys have any notable ones?
I have so many. Like, I honestly, over the years, like, just so many events. Like, one of the most memorable for me was at Toika. It was Henry Size, but he brought his band. So it was so nice to like have live music combined with like that dance music. And I love Henry Size. Like, he's a phenomenal producer, amazing DJ. I'm like really, really biased, but LK Klein always makes me so happy.
That show was such a nightmare to set up for. At
Yeah.
Toyka, the DJ booth was
yeah,
so
that
small,
was so tiny,
and they had like
They're just
keyboards,
spinning it.
drum
Yeah,
kits,
yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
boy,
But
here we
It
go.
was so good. The music was like that was the first time ever seeing him live, and I was so blown away. But I also one of my most memorable events is the Simon Patterson event for my birthday at Mod Club because that was the night.
Oh,
of the
that was fun.
Giant
was-
ice.
that
But
was
that
fun.
was the night of the giant ice storm, and half of Toronto was out of power. But because Mod Club didn't lose power,
Oh,
I
that's
had no
right.
clue.
That was a trek.
That's
I remember
right.
So,
trying
like,
to
it
And
go
wasn't-
down.
Coda was running on like
yeah.
that happened at Coda one night too. They had to run the party on generators. It was
Yeah.
Gabriel and Dresden.
Yeah.
I
But like I just remember at Mod Club, like it was like freezing, like probably one of the coldest I've ever been in Toronto. But I didn't even know about the power outage until I was trying to go home, and I was like, where I had to walk up the stairs of my condo and everything. I was like, what is going on? And then I find out there's like no power in Toronto and like a bunch of different spots for days.
So driving in, I was like, "What am I doing?" Like, am I like? And I'm like, "The event's still happening," and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Okay, I guess."
But that night was amazing.
It
Like
was
at
so
Mod
good.
Club, you had no clue. Like
Yeah.
that event was wild.
That was fun.
It was
It
so
was
much
packed.
fun.
They're- but they're
you
back
could
now.
Literally, like there was steam coming.
There
up
was
on
steam. There was
on the
tons of
ceiling
steam.
because people were dancing
It was
so hard.
Mod Club is back now with the same name.
Yes,
they
it
were
just-
Access
yeah.
for a while, but
Mhm.
that was a fun place. Funny enough, I went to 2004. I went to that venue to see a band play, and the band was called Muse.
Mhm.
And they're massive now, but they were
Yeah.
playing at Mod Club at the time. And then hey, shit, a couple of years later, doing a party at the club, I used to go drinking,
Yeah.
go drink and have a good time. And so
Yeah,
yeah,
they
Yeah.
keep remodeling. I think right
Yeah.
now Live Nation does own the venue.
That's correct, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's back to being called Mod Club. I
Yeah.
think Access. or
Access
something.
was the-
which makes sense because obviously Mod Club has that history of doing concerts, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Good ones.
What's your favorite event?
yeah, Annie.
I have so many.
The one where I wasn't.
No, that's not true.
The event
like,
that
it
I,
ran
the
so
event that I didn't-
smooth.
the event that I didn't attend.
The
In
event
fact-
that runs the most smooth, the one where I don't have to yell at him a lot.
Yeah.
Very rare. Actually, we have a lot of good events, a lot of memorable ones. Some I can't really remember, but thanks to having photographers there,
Yeah.
it brought back memories, right?
Well, that was
Some of it for me. It's some of the old Kearney ones that
Yeah.
I always
Oh,
like. Just,
yeah.
I mean, he was
back
great
in, like,
last
2014,
Halloween too. He
2015.
played such a
Oh.
good set at Story. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I loved what that guy plays.
That's it. I know he's always changed. Oh, go ahead.
Actually,
Mhm.
the boat cruise.
Which
Waves
one?
of
Which
Trance.
one?
I know, there's so many. It's our favorite. It's one of our
Simon-
favorites. No,
Asterisk?
asterisk.
Oh,
Asterisk.
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 Hint, hint.
Yeah. Oh,
No, Asterix was unreal though. That was the
Asterix.
craziest boat party I've ever
Was
been
that-
on
that
in
was
my
a-
life.
Whole
that was
boat, the whole boat was shaking.
Yeah.
It was bouncing. People were dancing so hard that it was bouncing.
And
on
he
the
had to
water.
show up late because he couldn't make it. Yeah, he didn't make it on the boat. Remember, we had to water taxi
No,
him
that
as
was
well.
Joe.
no,
Jody.
that was Jody. That didn't make
No,
it.
we had to water
Asterisk-
taxi Asterix as
Also?
well.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. But like that boat, like literally was bouncing out of the water, and the water was also so rocky that day.
Yeah,
It was
that was-
overnight. It was an overnight.
Literally,
I got
yeah.
off the boat. I felt like I was still on the boat for like another 8 hours. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, my legs.
But
don't
that was
work.
that was
That
at
was-
nighttime too, so it was just
Yeah.
It
the
was so
light.
much fun. It was just
Yeah,
like
it was
dark.
Yeah.
And then
I
And
just
did-
like,
Gary was DJing,
Would-
like on the downstairs floor too, and even lots of people went to go see all the local DJs.
Yeah,
like,
there was a
underneath.
we were doing locals downstairs.
When the
Yeah.
weather's good and the Lake Ontario's calm, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
We had that last year. I think it was Fatum on the boat. That I forget.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
2
yeah.
years
yeah.
ago.
Phantom.
Yeah,
Fatum.
Fatum.
Yeah.
Am I saying I mess up the DJ names all
it
the
was
time?
so calm.
All the time.
It was
From everywhere.
bright
I used to
moon.
Michael
was like,
Schultz.
oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it was just like they had you're in the little lake, no sound restriction, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah, you could run away, sail away.
Yeah.
So yeah, River Gambler was great for parties, but they're not doing electronic music
No,
anymore.
no.
They'll do hip hop,
I mean,
but
it's not
they
like
don't
an
want to do electronic
aesthetically
music.
nice boat. It was just nice. Like we did Gabriel Dresden, Simon Patterson. Like we had a lot of really good boat parties on there.
they
but
blame
it's just
the
not
they
nice
blame the
looking.
drugs, but I don't think that's the case.
I definitely love like Kayama and like what's the other one that's bigger?
Empire Sandy, like
Yeah.
they're all
I
amazing
like the
boats.
pirate ship look.
The vibes are fantastic. The
Cool.
pirate
This
ships.
bring me back. I haven't
are
heard some of
shaky.
these names in a while.
Oh man, there was one weekend when we did like Friday night nightclub event, Saturday sunset boat party, Sunday daytime boat party.
Yeah. Or sometimes you'd have like
Didn't
we
sleep for
were
3
like
days.
Toyka, and then you have your boat party, and then your AP for the boat party, and I was just like,
Yeah, it can get
it
over
get
one
a
man.
little
It can
crazy.
get over
Vaughn,
one.
have you had any from your memory that you remember?
You know what? What do you think of Open Era at the rooftop? 'Cause I know you did. a
We
few.
we actually like it.
Yeah.
We find that venue to be really nice.
Mhm.
I think
I think it works for the sound.
The sound is great. I mean,
Yeah.
we brought our own sound, the Void sound system, but I think we're not allowed to this year.
Or just the vibe. Just more of the vibe.
I think we got.
Vibe, right?
Yeah, the
I think we got in
The
trouble for
vibe.
bringing too much sound. That's always a problem with us.
Yeah.
More sound. We need more
We need more
sound.
sound.
Not enough sound. It's always that's the number one complaint, by the way, on the dance floor from anyone. The sound's not good enough. But it's usually just one person out of the 1,000.
It's me. Just like 4 seconds.
But no, sound is really, really important, and you know, and there's some sort of good, cool vibe about that open air rooftop where you can play some cool vibe, cool music like Coffee Delamar style, like really just
Yeah.
it's something about the sunset there too as well. Just
It's
Just
nice when
It's
it,
nice,
yeah.
nice view of the city too. It's on
our last
Monday.
party there, though, it was so windy. It was it was late September, so it was kind of just like
Is that Dosum?
no, Armin Moran.
Armin Moran.
Right. Yeah.
It was super windy, so late September's not. Again, our summer is like basically half of June and July and August.
Yeah. We got to go hard for those. It feels like it's later. It feels like we never have a spring anymore.
But
We just go straight into summer.
but going back to what you were saying, what our initial focus was always trance music.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to progressive, obviously. And at the time when we were doing trance, that's where the energy was.
Mhm.
And it was around 2013 when we did our first progressive house event, which was Guy J actually, and the Toyka, and like oversold. It was crazy.
Is there something you saw in the industry that's like, hey, let me try this?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm gonna give props where it's due. My good friend Naveed, who goes by the DJ name Mystic Mind,
Mhm.
it was his idea. We went out to have a nice lunch, and he was like, "Man, you're doing all these trance parties. Why don't you do progressive as well? Because nobody's doing well." There was some progressive events happening in the city at the time, but there was a lot of names that weren't coming into the market, just like the trance DJs.
Mhm.
And for us, moving to progressive or doing progressive as well was a natural transition because everybody that was in trance music naturally, migrated towards progressive house as their taste buds got developed, right? So it's a natural progression, and you're going to see the same thing. I think you're going to see that with a lot of the techno kids these days who are into the hard 140 BPM techno.
Mhm.
Well, as they get older, they're going to start discovering other sounds, and I think that's why there's always cycles in music.
Yeah. And there's always new inventing sound right now. It's listed 140. There's that bounce sound that people talk about.
Which is interesting. It's to me that's like happy hardcore almost.
Yeah, it's weird too, but you see a lot of the classic, like even before, like 2000 sounds coming into it. It's like faster BPM. You're like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've
Main
tried
thing about our scene is people need to keep a bit more of an open mind.
Yeah.
for sure. No, and
That's-
we've tried other genres too.
Yeah.
For example, like we've tried UK bass,
Yeah.
which we'll get to that story. And we've tried obviously some techno events. We've had a
Yeah.
few techno events as well, and that went
Angkor
quite
was
well.
crazy.
Angkor,
Yeah.
Alan Fitzpatrick, Joel Mall was a bowl
Speak Out,
party.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for us,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Alan Fitzpatrick at Toyka. That was
Forgot
a
about
great
that one.
night.
Mhm.
I forgot about that one.
and the real focus was for us was always about not the type of music we're bringing, but it was about building the vibe on the dance floor. When the vibe is great, the music becomes second nature as people come out for the vibe first.
Yeah.
So and that was our focus.
That's good.
Did you know that nearly 25% of adults experience hearing damage from loud noise exposure, like the music at clubs or festivals? Once it's gone, it's gone. That ringing you hear after a night out? It's a sign that your ears are crying for help. Hears provides earplugs that reduce noise levels by up to 21 decibels, enough to protect your hearing while still letting you feel the bass and enjoy the show. Get up to 30% off when you group buy with 5 friends. Click the link in the description now or scan the QR code on the screen. Don't wait till it's too late. Order today so you have it for your next event.
As and it shows. It shows in any
Thank
event
you.
you go to.
Thank you.
And as that took 17 years. Or not 17 years, it probably took. You're still building on
Has
to
it been
it.
17 years already?
I
Oh,
know.
what are we gonna do for our 20 year? We got to do something cool for 20
You have to
years.
do something cool.
Oh,
Always.
we got to do something cool for 20 years.
Let's just make it through this year first, and then
Oh yeah.
we'll plan it out.
Yeah. Let's make it through the summer first. Yeah.
So
No ball parties this summer. Not next year.
many years.
We gotta have boat parties.
It's
Yeah.
next year. Next year.
So you always have to plan so far in advance.
Yeah.
I know people thinking like a year out.
Well,
from
no,
now,
I
but
was
they
just telling
could-
him we're already starting to plan next year,
curious.
2027.
Yeah.
So the
We want to
best.
try to get ahead, right? So
Yeah, you have to. I guess many years. What's been the biggest challenges you face running Oz?
oof. I mean, they're gonna say the biggest challenge has been me.
Dun, dun.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't worry.
my biggest
I'm gonna
challenge is
segue. I'm gonna segue into them. So this is
They're gonna say the bigger challenge was me, but probably just this is gonna be a good one actually. Probably just accepting the scene for what it is. Many people get upset, angry, and you know what? Or they hold grudges, or they get into these conflicts of you're my competition, this and this. No, man, this scene's about bringing people together. It's about working together. It's not about competing against each other. It's not about separating or segregating the scene. It's about making the scene stronger. So I think the biggest challenge was learning how to navigate the scene, because the business side can be very, very, very stressful,
Very cutthroat.
very cutthroat. I have a really good heart, and this really isn't the business for people who are good-hearted. That's for sure.
it tests you.
It tests you.
It tests you.
You're swimming in a small pond full of sharks. And
I mean, we faced it too on the podcast.
I
Guys,
bet.
we're just a podcast. What are
They're-
we're here to promote the local
No,
scene. Why
they-
are you trying to beef with us?
There's a really incredible quote by Hunter S. Thompson, who I love, by the way. But he says, "The music business is a cruel, shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs. But there's also a negative side." So yeah, fantastic quote, 100%
That's
true.
very good.
But over the years, I think what I learned is you just have to accept it for what it is. The scene is what it is. The more you get angry about it, the more you get upset about it, the more you start conflicts. These are all negative, and these are all negativity. This is supposed to be this scene's about positivity, and that's what we have to make it about. And that's why our vibe at our events, it's great, because we preach that. We preach positivity. We preach bringing people together.
Community.
And I don't know about you guys, but yeah,
Yeah.
you've dealt with a lot of things in the scene so far. I mean, with artists yourself,
Yeah.
or just in general with people coming to the event. I know Annie has dealt with the share of like her nightmare at the door. So it's
Yeah.
well, if it's not me, it's the other nightmare.
Yeah.
You're still number one though.
So
We'll just blame it on Oz.
So when you kept going, when did you find the workload was too much that you needed to expand the team?
I think it was getting to a point where, like, when you start seeing work's not getting done, when you start seeing things, I'll get it done tomorrow. And that's one of my biggest mistakes is saying tomorrow. And I'm learning to work on that as a human being, and they can also probably agree that But again, that's why it's so important to surround yourself with people that actually care, and that are in it for the bigger picture and not just for themselves. There's no self-interest. There's only love, and there's only appreciation, and it about helping others around you, helping them grow. And that's just so key, I think, especially in this industry. There's so many different groups, and everyone's always trying to find a group that they want to belong in.
Mhm.
But it should be about welcoming everybody.
And from my perspective, I've always being with the Ozmozis brand, attending events, you're one of the key people that I look to as like you built a family with your team.
Oh, thank
Right.
you. And
And
Yeah.
I don't know if you even when Jenn and Annie
I'm
came
starting
on.
to blush.
I don't know if when Jenn and Annie came on, which we'll get to your guys' stories.
Oh boy.
if you even expected that it would grow to where it is now.
Expectations are one thing, but having it happen organically and naturally is another thing, and I can't ever like replace that or exchange that for anything. Like, it's just, I can't ask for anything better. Like, it happened also organically. I always had that goal of where it should all go, but like this is we are here where we are at the moment. That's why I said it feels like everything is just beginning now for me. That's the feeling. It feels like I finally like found my home and my family, and we're able to now build some really cool things.
It's fun when you're doing it with family in this sense. It's cool that you guys see it all grow together, right?
No, for sure.
Because you guys have been in it for so long.
We love to work with people too. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
It's not about just internal. We love to work with people, and but sometimes, and I gotta say, we have worked with a lot of people in the scene, and I think sometimes your ideologies clash. You don't have the same vision, and which is fine.
You need that though.
Yeah, you do need it. Yeah, but unfortunately, that is the case most of the time when you work with people. Your ideologies clash, and it's most of the time because of money, and they want to make more money, or they're doing things how should I say, they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing, especially as partners. But I don't like to create conflicts. Obviously, at the end of that partnership, you learn what they're about, and you leave things on good terms and you move on. I'm not one for drama. I'm not one for conflict. You learn who's like what if you work with them. So, and I'm a big believer in listening to other people and what they have to say, because we could totally learn something from them that maybe we're not implementing at our shows that can be really resourceful, right?
And I guess we'll segue into you guys. So when did you guys decide to join the team? Obviously, you started as ravers, attending the events.
So, well, we actually started at working for Oz at the same time. So I think in 2013.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, we were working for our friend Vince, who's doing local trance events. And he had gone to university with Oz, and they were like longtime friends.
Sorry, who?
Vince.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Anyways, but
That was not a joke. That was
he was just not paying attention.
Who I saw in Vietnam, by the way, like a couple of months ago, and it was great to see him again.
Yeah.
Because it's just been so long since I didn't see him. But
Yeah,
I love
but
him.
they had decided to partner up together, so by default we had naturally ended up on
okay.
Oz's team. So I effectively became at that time his head promoter.
Yeah. I don't only just hire Asians, by the way.
I don't know.
I guess, was the transition smooth?
It just like naturally happened, right?
Again, organically.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it wasn't
so
like,
great when that happens.
it wasn't like, hey, you want to join us? Yeah, let's sure. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't. We just kind of had like the same vision, because we were throwing parties at the
Again,
same
vision.
place.
Yeah.
Where Toika was also Ozmozis' home, right? And yeah, we just had like the same ideas. We're like, let's try collaborating together.
I remember
and-
Toika that night, actually. There's like small memories coming up. I remember even having that conversation at Toika. Do we?
With Vince or with
No,
us?
with you guys.
Oh yeah,
Much conversation.
there was
Yeah,
like
see.
so many.
There goes.
so many.
Lost my track there. All right. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. But
What
like,
conversation?
But what you guys joining the team? Remember when you guys were doing?
Well, we weren't even on the team yet,
No.
Yeah.
right? But yeah,
Yeah.
you were a head promoter.
Yeah.
We made you.
You guys were
Yeah.
doing.
Forever
You guys were
promoter.
doing impact.
More like
Impact.
forever. Yes. So we had a promotional company
Yeah.
called Impact Productions, and our main focus was actually trance,
Yeah.
and more so on local artists in the city, because we have so many to showcase, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, we did the same thing. We did it at Toika, and then he was there, and then I guess we kind of built a relationship very quickly, and realized we had the same vision, and we had the same values, and we're like, hey, you know what? Let's try throwing a couple parties together. And one thing led to another. We did. Oh, sorry. We did. That was her face. I think we did our first event at Toika. The locals night was Ascension.
Yeah.
And then it led to Waves of Trance boat party with Simon, which is what leads
Yeah.
back to why Simon and SQ is so important to
But
me.
yeah, by the way, I think that the Waves of Trance was really what took off as the boat
Yeah.
parties. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
and
then
I think that's the one where Simon didn't have his clothes.
Oh yeah, I had to go
buy
shop.
them.
I had to go shopping to Winners to buy some clothes because he lost his luggage.
Oh,
Yeah.
luggage. Yeah.
But definitely, like working for Ozmozis for me, like joining in 2013, that was such a huge pivotal point in my life, because, my first club job was I was a shooter girl at government in 2007,
Mhm.
but I was in university in Ottawa, so I'd only come to Toronto in the summers. So when I finally moved back to Toronto, like I didn't know anyone anymore, and I was like out of the scene for a while. So like effectively, like it was through Ozmozis that I made all my friends that I
Yeah.
know in the city. And, I've gotten over the years like offers to work at other companies, but it's just I've never wanted to, because for me, it wasn't about wanting to do the events. It's just the community that I got through working for Ozmozis. And Oz drives me crazy, but he also makes me the happiest. So like I would just never leave him,
Aw.
but
Yep.
does drive me crazy.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I think that's expected, especially being word. It's like you have to butt heads.
Yeah.
That's how the relationship grows, right?
Yeah.
Yin yang and such like that.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
he's just like such a creative, like so aspirational, and it's just getting him focused. Sometimes it's like herding cats, and you're like, okay.
yeah, I'm working on that too, and but that's what's great about this relationship. They let me see my flaws and what I need to work on.
You guys have any cool stories you want to share?
Of Oz?
Oh, in general, ever since joining.
Yeah, I mean, we have tons. There's so many.
The-
Where do you guys want to start?
You do you want like behind the scene
Whatever you guys want to share.
or like with DJ?
I was like, I'm trying to
We'll
think.
do a little story
You
time
have so
session.
many. You have so
I
many.
know.
We'll do a little
stories.
story time session.
Honestly, like the one thing about working for Oz is like you will never have a boring day with him. Like even when I just think about like traveling together with him, like we did an event in Detroit, and that was just like the most fun, chaotic trip ever.
That was
Um,
chaotic and fun. And,
Yeah, and
and
but,
that
like,
the DJ didn't even make it. Guy Jay didn't even make it because something happened. He had family. I think he was family emergency.
yeah,
And our first international event, our headliners
yeah,
missing.
yeah. But yeah, no. And Oz is just a really funny human being to travel with in general. He really lets loose when he's outside of Toronto. So
Yeah, if you want to see me let loose, see you at Stereo.
yeah.
All right,
Sure.
let's do it.
But yeah, it's hard to pinpoint like, the best stories because there have just been so many. And even at the events, like we're working, especially the events are brickworks. Like it takes so much effort and time to put these events together and to get everything set up and then just getting the event running smoothly during the event that like sometimes you don't even have time to process all the crazy things that have happened or all the funny stories. It's like when someone else is talking about it, it like triggers the memory for you. Cause like in that moment, you're just like in go, go, go. We just got to make sure everyone's happy
Very
and running
true.
smoothly. But
Very true. Like you're just in the moment, go, go, go. You don't realize, you don't take in all the other sides of it. But I mean, remember when we did that cottage party? We were,
oh yeah, the Osmosis cottage party. That was
where I
really,
had to-
really funny.
Where one of our promoters greened out and I had to save his life. Stick my fingers down his throat and he had him puke all over me. But
Good friend.
Chauncey, I love you, buddy.
Yeah,
But
I was like not helping. I was just sitting on the couch and I'm like, what do I do?
which, by the way, we're due for another
Yeah.
staff cottage party. But yeah, we've had so many stories. That's why
Yeah.
that's why it's so
Yeah.
difficult to pinpoint one. Times when I met Tiesto and like Marcel Woods was playing, and I saw him at Cobra and I was like, hey, and they had a track coming out at the same time at that time. So I tweeted Tiesto. I'm like, man, it was nice to meet you last night. I hope you come out to the show. And he tweeted back saying, yeah, send me the address. I look forward to seeing you. And then a bunch of people bought bottle service and tickets thinking he's coming, but he never showed up.
Good
Yeah.
advertising.
That is one thing we always say. Like raving, one of the best parts about raving isn't just music; it's some of the stories you come along.
Well, how about the time Jenn left me in Montreal?
Oh yeah.
she left you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, like
They
I
went to
didn't
the
like
airport and
literally
everything.
leave him. I just forgot about him.
Yeah,
Like,
they forgot about me, right?
yeah, no.
They called me from the airport.
I know. We were flying back from Montreal back to Toronto.
Who do we go see?
It was for the Trance Unity event.
Okay,
So,
Oh yeah. Okay.
which is
Great
pretty
party.
much all the Trance DJ Oz has ever booked. But Oz's only request is like, hey, wake me up to remind, like when we're
Before you
leaving
go
for
to
the
the
airport.
airport.
And I was sitting on the plane and I was like, I'm forgetting something. Like I could not figure out what it was.
You're
And
on
as
the plane.
The plane is taking off. I look at my friend Nyanki and I was like, oh my God, we forgot Oz. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, we didn't wake him up. He's not on the plane. Like
The story doesn't end there.
I know. And it's just like, so like, I like messaged Oz when we get back to Toronto and I'm like, I'm so sorry. He got so drunk at the airport that they wouldn't let him on the next flight. So he
I had to go back to the hotel and stay another night in Montreal.
And then we were
I wasn't
like,
causing causing too much problems. I was just
But
really drunk.
this is for Trance Unity, which ends at like 8 or 9 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah. No, I think and like so that
We
was
stayed
like
an extra
still when
night, yeah.
like Circus is there. No, you stayed
This
an
is
extra
the-
night. Like
this is
we
the original
left
one.
that
Oh,
day,
right.
but like
okay.
I think the event ended at like 10 or 11 in the morning because that's when Circus was still around and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, yeah, they don't know this story, but goes back to like Vola time.
Mhm.
It was when we were. I won't mention who it was, but it was wild, man. This DJ destroyed the whole hotel room that we booked, and that was probably one of the wildest stories that I have from booking artists in the past many years. But yeah, that was let's just say we never booked them again. But that was probably one of the most wildest things I've ever had happen to me because usually we book these hotel rooms on trust and I put my card down. well, that was a lesson learned, never to put your card down as a promoter. But yeah, that was probably one of the most crazy stories we've had. Yeah. But usually, our parties are great. We don't get too much trouble at the events, so there's not like crazy. But when it comes to the artist side as well, like I find that we work with so many laid back, cool artists that
a lot of really laid back DJs.
In the
Like
progressive and trance scene, I find that's
oh my god, the progressive guys are
Especially,
like truly no trouble. They're just so humble, like not demanding. They're just there to have a great time. They're really nice to like their fans and everything.
They take the time
very
to talk
not
to people.
demanding.
Yeah, that's the
all
nice
they ever
thing.
want are bananas.
And and I think that's why you find us working. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Like potassium.
Oh, potassium. Yeah,
after
just don't make sure you tell the person getting the bananas not to bring green bananas, yellow ones only.
Yeah.
Because it was a funny. Hernan and Guy J were playing back to back at Nest, and Hernan was like, "Oh, I need a banana." So we sent out one of our promoters to go get a banana. He brings back like a stack of green bananas, and Hernan's like, "What am I supposed to do with this? Take it home?" Yeah. So, but yeah, we've had some crazy wild stories, but yeah, it's again, most of them have been more fruitful and more joyful.
Yeah, that's a lasting memories. I think that's what it comes down to. That's what we love about the scene. Doesn't matter if you're an organizer, doesn't matter if you're a raver, DJ. Every year you're gonna have new memories.
Yeah,
new people you'll meet. It's just amazing.
I showed up to a boat party one time on crutches because I fell off a cliff, and then but I'm still making it to the party. And I think that was with Simon Patterson. I'm still dancing with my crutches.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some stories.
But it's funny because whenever I'm traveling, like when I went to like ADE or like EDC or like all these different festivals events, I usually hear the funniest stories about Ozmozis and Oz from the DJs we've booked when I'm at other venues. But like in this moment when you're like trying to think of a story yourself, like it's not like clicking.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like we couldn't even like think of ideas to write down, to even stories to write down. There's been so many.
So hard.
And sometimes when you think about it, it's been like 17 years, and you try to pinpoint times, and sometimes people will bring like I'll see somebody that I haven't seen in like 6 years or 7 years, and they'll bring up something, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, when it's so regular, it's hard to remember. It's happening all the time.
Well, with these stories, I mean, it obviously helps you build your community. Right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Like shifting to one of the big things in your guys' vision is like connecting people through music to build the community, right? So I've said you have a loyal following. When did you start noticing that, hey, like I'm seeing the same people come to our events over and over again, and like I have something here?
Honestly, I think that was my vision to start with. That was really like before even doing this, I realized that there's for some reason I really connected with people doing code check. I really connected with people and built this. I built random groups of people, and then I was like, well, you know what? I love this, and ever since I was like 8 years old, I used to go with my cousin to a beach town, and there was a nightclub there, and he used to go to the club, and I used to follow him and sneak into the club, and they used to kick me out, and I was like, please let me into the disco, please let me into the disco. So kind of like this has kind of like stuck with me for a long time. So I already kind of knew I was destined to do that.
Yeah.
And I was destined to do all of this. So the idea was already there. It's just how we were going to implement it. And really we started seeing a community build when I started seeing more and more people talking about it online. Trans Addict was one of the websites that we were using to promote the forums, right?
Even when TRC started popping up, or Toronto Trance
exactly,
family too.
Yeah. So and then naturally, obviously, the progressive side happened naturally because we already had that crowd. So that trans crowd naturally progressed into the progressive.
Yeah.
No pun intended. It naturally progressed into the progressive side. But on the road to success, I don't think we really experienced any other sort of like pushback from what we wanted to accomplish.
That's good. No, as I said, it came with the sound too. I think the crowd that the sound brings is also beneficial. The community, shout out to our community too, because they're also part of why the Oz community is
100%. Obviously, if it's not, that's the core. The reason why we have a good vibe is because everybody on that dance floor is watching out for each other. So that's instead of having
and it's inclusive, like LGBT community.
Exactly.
Everyone is welcome.
And that's the whole. Last year, I think the year before at our 15th year anniversary party at Brickworks, there was like 2 pregnant ladies there, And she made a post, and she was like a genuine post about how happy she was being there because people were coming up to her. They were so happy for her, and that made her day because she was just about to pop a baby. So it's amazing to see that, you know, people feel that safe and comfortable at our events.
Yeah, and I've seen like some of our regular attendees, they'll bring like their mom or their dad to an event, and they're like, "Oh, this is my mom's first rave," and like she's having a great time. So it's really nice to see because, especially with the progressive events, like I found when Oz was first doing trance events, it definitely was a younger crowd, but with the progressive events, you do really see like a huge wide net of age groups. Like some people are just getting into the scene now, and then you'll see people who are like in their 70s or like, you know, a lot of people who haven't been to an event in like 5 years and they've like come out of retirement for specifically
they have
those
a
events.
family and kids.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome to see that. And, you know, we've seen actually like even couples get like meet each other at our events, and now they're married with kids. It's pretty wild that I every once in a while I'll meet somebody new that say, well, yeah, I met my partner at your event. It's amazing. We're actually like literally
love connection.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we really our biggest promotion was word of mouth, and it's hard to quantify that, you know, for data, but that was our biggest way of getting the word out. Just because like somebody would come out, they would have such a great time that they start telling five other friends that you got to come out to the show. Like it's incredible vibe. And obviously at first those people are like, what are you talking about? It's just another party. It's just
but as what you just said, if I want to bring someone to their first event, an Oz event comes top to my mind.
That's amazing.
Right?
Because
it's just like, this is a very nice environment. You're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
You're not going to run into any, like, I'm not going to take someone to Rebel.
No.
Right? That's the first time.
Somebody actually just emailed us asking, sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah.
Somebody just actually emailed us asking, do you have bottles or do you have a booth at Solar Stone that we can book? I want to bring my family out to their first party.
That's amazing.
But yeah, no, I was going to say like, especially with how Oz kind of advertises events and grows his community, like for him, it's not about making kind of like those like TikTok, Instagram viral moments or getting like this like hype DJ and things like that, because it brings such a different energy and an environment at the event. Really, he does focus a lot on that word of mouth. If you look at our socials, like they're not going off crazy. Our Facebook has been barely updated, and yet somehow people are continuously hearing about the events because he really focuses on ensuring that people feel safe and comfortable at the environment, so that, you know, they're going to tell their like 5 other friends about coming into the event.
That did take time, right?
Of course, that takes time. I mean, like we have a pretty big mailing list now, so and that's our main focus when it comes to reaching out to people. We have tons of phone numbers, everybody's phone numbers, so that's really, you know, social media is great, which is something also we need to start like pushing more on our end, because now it's all about creating those reels and being socially present.
You feel pressured to do it sometimes.
I am.
Right?
You know what?
I
don't like it. I don't like it.
Feel pressure too.
I really don't like it. But, you know, with the DJing aspect and all that stuff, you know, there was a period when like I just really did not want to do it, and that really shows. And
but we do have the nicest flyers, regardless.
We have
amazing
the best
flyers.
They're pretty good.
I love the Kearney one too, where the skull shows. I was like, oh my god, that was so sick.
Creeped me out. I was like, Oz, we need
props to Motive Design. Motive Design is doing some really cool stuff.
I'm gonna have nightmares from that flyer.
But Jen brought up a good point. Not falling into that hype. Like now, the big thing right now is like, I would say we're the ADHD generation, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, progressive and trance doesn't really navigate towards that, but not generating the hype video because it goes against your brand. Like, you're not trying to do something like brash.
Yeah, I'm very like when it comes to you know, that kind of stuff. I'm very like keen and making sure that we stick to what we're best at and what we do, and that's I don't think like we have tried like hype DJs. It didn't work for us. Like
but it's because it's not our crowd.
It's not,
So it's like even if we bring in like a hype DJ, it's not gonna get the same reach because it's just not. It's not what the crowd that typically comes to our event is looking for.
But it's also doing like that reels, making like, say Grum was here, doing like a hype thing for Grum for how he DJ'd wouldn't make much sense with the community you're trying to promote it to,
I mean,
right?
we're going to have to, because that's the way to go
like,
now. So
we still have to attract.
You still have to try to do something, but something more like
for sure.
Not like,
but it was never
like
for us. It was never like the top priority, right? So, But yeah.
So one of the big things, as you saw success, negativity from the community. How did I
You
think
mean these two?
I think everyone faces that. Obviously, they see it maybe at the
look.
event.
No, I mean, look, yeah, everybody faces it. Obviously, with success, you'll run into that, especially on the road to success. You're gonna have to deal with that. But I don't think we really experience much negativity from the community. The people who come out, there's always gonna, we've always had complaints where somebody was complaining about the lineup, the washroom, the coat check, or this, which we immediately worked on and fixed for the next event because we don't like, having those kind of issues. But yeah, I think we have the opposite. Actually, we have more positivity in sport than negativity.
Yeah,
which is amazing because, however, we've had some haters in the past, but we don't like to focus on that. We're a positive group and we like to focus on positive stuff. But there was one person that disliked me so much and what we do that he named his company Beyond Oz Productions, which you might be very familiar with who that is or who the company is. But yeah, Beyond Oz Productions stems from somebody hating my guts, apparently. But
I just remember that ball on blanc thread where everyone is literally attacking him because he just has the biggest vendetta against
that
everybody.
goes. He was.
And I was like, that was a ball on blanc thread. That has nothing to do with.
So
I don't even know why Oz got brought up here.
It goes to show you the support that we have in the community when somebody's negatively attacking us.
Yeah,
there is the whole community positively supporting us.
Yeah, it's still coming to your events,
and that just shows what we're about and why we're still in this.
And I'll say never change. You guys are on the amazing path.
How much money are we talking about?
Dubstep show?
I've had I've had people that want to work with me.
I don't think we've ever done a dubstep show.
I know. No, we've done UK based show and only 16 people showed up.
Like I said, it was not our crowd.
It just didn't work.
It doesn't work.
What about collaboration? Anything with over the years? Obviously, I find in our community right now, like it's key for collabing, cost wise to.
What do you guys think about collaborations?
I think a lot of your collaborations, when I think about Brickworks, it's providing a platform to small vendors to get their art out there and build recognition for their merchandise and their brand. Oz is very particular, so he likes things done in a certain way. So he generally he doesn't work with other people, but he does collaborate a lot with the community, figuring out going to schools to teach them DJs or giving a platform for artists so that they can show their work as well.
Yeah, we like working with people, and because there's always something different that the other side can bring to the table. But as you work with people, you also kind of get to experience the negative sides, and you get to see what people are about. Again, I'll never block that because that would be creatively blocking ourselves. I think it's important to listen to other people. But there was a point where I realized that our goals were much more different than a lot of the other promoters out there. So that's why when you work with people, you can really disturb that vibe, especially if there's no energy or synchronicity. That can really affect the vibe of a party when you work with people. So that's why when it goes back to her,
had some good.
But we've had some good collaborations for sure. But at the moment, where the way things are going, where we find ourselves probably heading to Brickworks for next year, and collaborations are definitely possible because we've collaborated even at Brickworks with other promoters. So.
And I think you've already mentioned this. I guess lessons over the years that you've learned. What's one of the biggest takeaways you've had?
For me, it's probably that there's a lot of people in this industry are self-motivated and their self-interest and egos take over. So, and we're more about the community and the vibe. So we're not about it self-individual. And I find that's one of the things that I can take away from all of this is that a lot of people have self-interests and self-egos. So that can really affect. I find that's really affected me in this scene. Where you work with somebody and then they had ulterior motives and then it all comes out after. That one really stings, especially if, for example, you work with an artist for so many years and all of a sudden they decide to play for somebody else. Not that we don't own any artist, we don't own any DJ. They can play with anybody they want, but what I find is communication is so important, and I find that's something that lacks in this industry where people rather just screw each other, stab each other in the back than actually openly communicate with communication you're able to resolve.
Yeah.
Seems that scene doesn't work that
It's
way.
the biggest problem in anything right now. Communication. People just aren't talking.
But,
Yeah.
but what about you guys? I know
There's
you
like
guys.
a lot of lack of transparency.
There is
it
a lot, and it's happened a lot more since after COVID.
Yeah.
I know. Are you experiencing that
I mean,
as a local? Are you experiencing that with promoters?
I don't know. To me, it feels like there's like layers. Like, I work with some people in Hamilton that are great. Like, it's all sort of same sort of mindset that you have. Like, just working with the people, community vibes, whatever. It's fantastic. But then down in Toronto, I feel like there's layers where, as you said, there's some people that feel like, it feels like you're butting heads with. And they may say to you, hey, let's work on something together. I love the whole aspect of like, if somebody has you on to an event that they're hosting, you try and do the same for them. I haven't thrown anything myself, but I've had some people that have helped me out a few times. So, I think there's been versions like there's different circles, right? Some
That's
circles
true.
to me seem very open and inclusive. And then there's others that I feel like are less promising, but they'll tell you, hey, yeah, let's cook something up, and
More
then
gatekeeping.
yeah.
And I think it
But
also
everyone's
with
got a
genres too. Like sometimes I find like if there's argument in the trance and progressive sound, why are you guys doing this? We're already like dying per se. Like why are
Trans family?
Yeah,
I
like
think
why
that-
are we bickering?
I think one of the biggest things I've learned, especially working with Oz for a long time, is that it's natural to like hold on to like those great nostalgic memories and, talk about the good old days and things like that. But it's really important that you learn to adapt with where the scene is and where the environments are and where technology is. Like, it's a different scene from when I first started. Like when I first started, Facebook didn't even exist. So like you would call random like phone numbers to find like raves in the middle of nowhere, and like people used to listen to like happy hardcore and like break beats and like jungle. Like it's such a different type of environment
It
back
was,
then.
yeah.
But I think what's really important is to not hold on so aggressively into the past, because evolving and growing is beautiful as long as you let yourself view it that way. And the more you hold on to the past, I find it just builds up so much negativity and really leads to a lot of toxic aspects of the scene where people like, talk about, things used to be this way, or
Yeah,
like,
don't use the sync button. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, technology can be beautiful. Like there's so many amazing tractor DJs out there, and like they wouldn't be able to do what they could do without the technology to like
Yeah.
help them. But yeah, no, sync is a
Just
is
do
a very
you,
hot
boo.
topic.
Yeah.
Sync button.
Sync is a very hot topic.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like when you hear about sync?
Whatever.
It's-
I mean,
it's like-
I don't click it too often, but if you have to
I
for a
use it.
second, click
I
it,
mean,
unclick it. Yeah.
Sometimes it just
What a-
makes life more convenient.
I use it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
lets you,
Rip it
I like
three,
thinking of
4
like
days.
AI in general. Like,
lets you
which
focus more on the mixing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
again, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
It works for you.
Song selection and vibe.
That's where it actually it's that's where it starts, the song selection. If you don't have proper programming, that's where you can't even create a vibe, right?
Yeah.
So, and we talked about this, and we've had events where we had like an incredible vibe because the music was so great, but where we had some events where it didn't really deliver, and the crowd, lucky the crowd was so, they love us and they love our brand, so they still stayed.
Yeah, nice. And I want to segue a bit to, we talked about the community building, helping build the brand, but what about the artists in general? Like the artists, have you found like discovery of artists changing throughout the years on when it comes to doing shows?
Now I got these two, so they just click and discover who.
Okay.
No.
Oh, so who does the art? Who?
Well, it's lately it's been like all of us. I think
Okay.
we like accumulative, like we talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to make a decision where it's like, I want that DJ, we're gonna book it no matter what. I like to hear the opinion of my teammates.
Yeah.
So
I remember when we booked like the Lane 8 boat party the first time. Like,
sold
it was
out, sold out in like
it was our fastest selling out
boom.
event.
Yeah.
Sold out in
literally
like 10 minutes.
10 minutes sold
But
out.
it was such a
Makes sense.
controversial booking because at that time, me and Oz were like, Lane 8's gonna kill it, and then
I made a bet.
the other two were like, no, it's this is a terrible booking. We shouldn't do this. And Oz is like, well, if this event does well, he's like, I get to decide all the bookings for the rest of the year. And he's like, if this event goes poorly, he's like, you guys can make the decision. For
Sold
the
out in
booking
10
for the-
minutes.
And it sold out in 10 minutes. So like sometimes it, Oz has gotten really lucky at kind of finding that
Eh,
rising.
You know what it is?
Majority-
It's just like I'm out sometimes, I'm partying and I'm dancing, and then maybe I'm at an after party listening to somebody's mix, and there's a track that's playing. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Sorry, I'm like, who's that? Like, I wanna know who that is because I think I want to book that DJ. As a promoter, I never relied on Instagram. Well, now you kind of have to look a little bit, but
Do you do the SoundCloud searching?
I was gonna
Does
say,
anyone
do
just-
you when you listen to people's
I
mixes?
listen to the
Yeah.
mixes. For me, it's about listening to the person's mix, or not so much
tracks.
single individual tracks because then you don't get the vibe. But I like to listen to mixes because then it lets me kind of have an understanding of what that person's like and whether or not the vibe will fit our vibe.
Mhm.
And that's so important. And I discovered a lot of artists that way, actually.
I will say though, you've also booked a lot of really amazing female DJs as well.
We
Like,
have, yeah, we have. We try to do more female bookings. Obviously, it's in a scene that's dominated by males, of course.
Also, it's Happy International Women's Day.
Oh, that's right. Yes. yes.
I said it.
So you're
More-
paying for dinner.
Yeah, paying for my own birthday dinner. Why not? Why not? Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. So yeah, I mean, we do want to bring more females for sure, and we do have actually a few on in the works at the moment. But yeah, it's if you're talented, we're gonna support.
I think that's what it comes down to. as well,
and
talent.
Especially opening artists as well, local artists. Is so important to us because that's for us. Like I'm
It sets the mood for the
so
night.
picky.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we have only a select few locals that we
Yeah.
rely on. But again, that doesn't mean we're not open to bringing
Yeah.
new people on board. We're always open for that. We always want to give opportunities for other people as well. But
So,
Well-
any advice you would give to any upcoming DJ? Anyone
Let's hear it.
doing progressive or trance?
ooh,
Like Vaughn, for
Yeah,
example.
let's hear
like, how long have you been DJing? Just curious.
I mean, technically 2 years.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, look, I think the biggest advice is that you got to really put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think we get so many emails and like one thing is for sure is you got to go out to the event.
Yeah.
And one of the first questions
That's what we
Annie
tell
would ask is
everyone.
yeah. So but like, what do you guys think when it comes to the vocals? Like I'll give my take as well, but
I mean, I think it's very important to really be invested in networking and making those relationships in a genuine way where it's not like you just want to talk with this person because you want to get booked by them. Like when I think about some of the local openers that we've had, that those relationships happen organically. Well, either, they, got to know Oz by attending events or got to know me by attending events. And then we realized that, hey, they're actually really great at DJing, and Oz is always open to giving people a chance. But it's just got to be that organic kind of.
It's
Yeah.
what we tell everyone.
of course,
like
if-
if you're not part of the community you're DJing in,
Yeah.
you won't make the connects that you need.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to. We all started. Once again, it goes back. We all started as ravers. Just
Yeah.
enjoy the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Enjoy it.
I feel like when people are only trying to get to know you for a very particular reason, like
Very
it's
easy.
I'm
very,
gonna
very
know. I'm gonna
You
know.
know.
Like-
You know.
I'm gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, look, after 17 years now, if you're trying to get to me to just get a gig, I'm gonna know. But there's people who do it in a different way, where they're just like they're showing you their passion. If I see that passion in them, then yeah,
You'll see it. Like
You're gonna see,
you
like,
will-
you're gonna
you
know.
cannot not see it. Is the way I
yeah.
look
So
at it.
and that just comes with like part of like your gut feeling after many years of like just gonna work. But yeah, we like one thing that you shouldn't do as a DJ is, make sure you do your homework on the company that you're reaching out to. We've had a lot of artists reach out who are like drum and bass DJs or like happy hardcore DJs or like Afro house DJs asking for a booking when they haven't even done their research on what we do.
Oh, I just thought of a really good advice as like a local DJ. You should never play the track of the DJ you're opening for. Don't do it. It's so important. Especially just before that DJ goes on.
So I have a question. Do you think the opening DJ should warm up the night, or
Yeah.
should they play
Yeah.
to their strengths?
No,
Nope, warm up
it's
the night.
warming-
Okay, okay.
Like
You're never
the
playing.
thing is, an opening DJ is such an important like spot in just setting that mood. It's getting people comfortable getting into the venue and then getting them ramped up for that headliner, right? And when people are like trying to outdo the headliner, it's like, no,
not about
you
that.
gotta dial it
It's
back.
it's about
And
I've-
the DJs will respect you so much more if you take that opening slot so much more
like
seriously.
when I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I have another perspective based on that. So
Yeah, go ahead.
working with, I guess I think for the trance and progressive scene, I think it makes sense. Like it's like very like you're not really makes no sense to show up the main. But I know in some other genres like drum and bass, I've been told that shouldn't the headliner play better than me? As long as I don't play their tracks, right?
That I might have to agree a little bit there because of, like that kind of sound is aggressive, right? A little
Yeah.
bit more.
Well, it depends on the BPM of like the
Yeah.
DJ that's headlining. Like if someone is playing, let's say like 150 BPM, and the next like the headliner plays at 125.
Okay, so that
Like
that,
you know
yeah.
that's not gonna look good.
And that makes sense. Like shout out my good friend Belinda, who opened for you guys on.
She was awesome.
Brian
by the way.
Kearney.
She was good,
Like
she was good.
progressive isn't her main.
I know,
forte,
but
right?
she did a
but
decent job.
That's
so she was good.
exactly what she knew. She knew the assignment.
Yeah.
It makes sense for that. It's just
Yeah.
I heard that other argument. I'm like,
Well, I mean,
I
I've
kinda
heard
get that.
lots of
We talked a bit
DJs
too. So
that have the same sentiment. And the thing is like if you look at, setting that vibe as like your job, and then you should be doing what's best for the venue and
Yes.
the people
I
and the
think so.
environment and create like having that like tailored curated experience. But if it's about like you, then like that's not about the vibe, right? Like that's just you showing
yeah,
off.
it's just interviews better. But I think genre plays into.
Yeah.
I
big time.
I think that's
Who
where it's
does?
Yeah.
genres.
Genre.
Oh, yeah,
I would say
I-
BPM plays
BPM,
more
yeah,
into it than
that's-
anything.
I agree.
But
I agree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And it's
like, I mean, if the headliner plays at like 150, then like you have so much runway to do whatever
Yeah.
you want. But like
I mean,
if
look,
they play like a lower BPM, it's like,
we take our time trying to find perfect opener for each gig because again, going back to what Jen said, it's so important and crucial to the vibe of the party. If the opening DJ screws it up, that crowd, half the crowd is potentially their night can go this way, whereas the rest can go this way, the rest can go this way. So it's really important that, especially if you want to get booked again.
yeah.
you
Yeah.
should
I know
definitely-
I'm very excited to see Andrew opening for Ken.
Andrew McDonald, yes,
Yes.
he's an artist that we haven't booked in a while.
Oh my god, he's so good.
And simple. He just emailed me and said, "Look, Oz, I know I haven't been active in such a long time, but I would love it. Like I want to start doing DJing again, and I would love it if you give me the opportunity to play again."
Nice.
And it was such a beautiful email, and it was so real and also genuine that
He's
the
such
passionate
yeah.
that I
He's
was
such
like-
a great vibe setter. Like
that I was like, yeah,
I mean, he's been a big part of our community
Yeah.
from the beginning.
from
too.
yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
it comes down to. In the
Yeah,
end, they've
in
been
the
part of the
end.
community,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You
And
always
see-
want to pull from your community, right?
Yeah.
a guy like that who hasn't played for us in maybe 6 years or more.
Yeah.
One email, but I immediately said yes because
Yeah. And I'm so excited to
it's
see him back.
it's just like I will respect.
Life happens
Yeah.
too, especially with
Yeah.
how long
Yeah.
the average age of a trance and progressive fan is.
Yeah.
Life happens, right?
Oh,
Life
you-
happens.
I know.
So
All my friends are having kids now.
yeah.
By the trans community, like the trans community in like Amsterdam, like they're in their like 50s and 60s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
ASOT too. I'm young.
they're really right.
They're like
You're-
40
You're
plus.
just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a spring chicken.
Even
just
for
running
ASOT,
around.
which is like, is it a state of trance? I don't know, Armin. You tell me these days what you're booking. But like the community there, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
It's something I wish just goes back to our scene here. There's always that thing of that. I always hear the thing, oh, COVID caused people to retire. I'm just like, I look at other communities. So one of the big communities in Toronto is the jungle community. Same thing like the trance, very old crowd.
Yeah.
They turn up to every jungle event. I'm like, why are people using the excuse in the trance scene that, oh, I'm retired, or like I don't want. It
I-
kind of
Listen,
boggles my
anyone
mind.
who says retired, you'll see them like a year later.
One thing I will
He's
say
asking for a
that's
gig.
different about trance than jungle though is trance like in 2012 or like I would say 2010 to 2015 had like a really big resurgence where it was trance became mainstream again, right? Like, and that was like the peak of 8 come back and so forth. Versus jungle has relatively stayed
It's staying.
underground.
It has.
So it's like
Yeah,
that
so that's
underground
very
community, and it's always been those small, intimate vibes where, like, everyone's just sweaty and like having the best time in their life. And so when people say I've retired out of trance, it's because it depends on when they came into the scene. Like, did they come when it was more of that mainstream trance, or is it like Do they want that really uplifting trance? Is it like side trance? Do they want like tech trance, like old Marco V and stuff like
That's
that?
very.
It
that's
really
very true.
depends on what they were listening to that would determine whether they've retired out or not, right? Because like a lot of the trance that I listen to is
Was-
like it isn't the trance that's being played now, but like it,
Somebody
like, I
wrote a
still
really good
listen to it
track
often.
called "They Always Come Back." So,
Yeah, that's a great track name.
but do you have any to include into the whole opening artist, local artist, Annie?
On like how to break through
Yeah,
and whatnot, getting booked.
yeah.
I feel like you kind of have to, okay, obviously you got to focus on your craft and, and build your own identity and setting the vibe. But it's so important to just go back and just build genuine connections, just those relationships.
Yeah.
Just be genuine and, support the scene, show up to the community, and just eventually it just happens naturally. I feel like all these DJs that end up getting booking, it just comes natural. Don't
Yeah.
like show up and be like, hey, I'm a DJ. Listen to my mix. Book me. I want to play for your show. It's like,
Yeah.
When you try
everyone
to
does-
force it, yeah,
yeah, like don't force it. Like
Yeah.
let it come naturally.
let it be natural. Yeah.
Like the community is actually
Organically.
smaller than what people realize.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you'll
I
recognize.
could
certain-
imagine that
Of
it's
course.
it's discouraging to put yourself out there all the
Yeah.
time, but like
I mean,
it's
respect the
all that
hustle.
matters
Yeah,
is like
it's a
that
hustle.
one
It's a
right
hustle.
moment is
Yeah.
what makes the difference.
I'm
right?
curious. You're new in the scene, so like, are you well, just start DJing, but what's your approach into getting gigs? Just curious to come hear that from you.
I don't really have one, to be honest. Like, I mean, like you were saying earlier, we were talking about social media and everything. I am not extremely on top of it. I'm
Tough. It's tough.
Yeah, like
It's a
tough.
full-time job.
which is
Yeah.
great. Like
It's
I'm always digging for tunes and just kind of, I don't know. I'd like to mix at home quite frequently. Just bought myself a nice zone mixer
Awesome.
and just have a good time with it. And my main focus really this summer, at least, is considering the music I like, which is kind of the genres that you host. I don't really see much of a benefit to trying to get into places like can't think of any names because I don't know. Like I'm typically I just want to focus on outdoor mixes, YouTube, stuff like that, right? Because I like the drawn out melodic stuff, and not a lot of people other than you guys are kind of hosting those events.
Cool.
Are you trying to
So-
get into producing as well? or-
Yeah, I got a couple tunes on the go right
And,
now.
and
Awesome.
any DJ
Yeah.
for anyone, producing is a step you have to take.
Yeah.
It's important. I mean,
Well,
like, yeah.
I mean, there are some really large DJs out there who've never actually produced before because they were at a time where like DJs didn't have to be producers; they could be DJs.
I
But
thought-
But the thing I say is like
But if-
everyone's
I
a
would
DJ
say,
now.
yeah.
It's very
No, I know, I know.
it's very saturated. So I'm just like, if everyone's a DJ, what separates you from the next person?
Is it
I was gonna
is
say,
it if they're
like-
is it if they're able to play and play a journey to the
even
dance
if
floor?
you're
Let me
not
pause.
taking that social media approach, though, like for example, Dowden, like he's got a booming career now in Europe. Now, like he moved from Toronto to, I think he's living in Germany now, and like he didn't like advertise himself on social media. He really just focused on his craft of like being a good DJ, producing really amazing music, and he's getting like a lot of big gigs out there now. So.
Yeah. So production and then just like content and YouTube, stuff like that, as opposed to trying to play places that I don't really think are going to elevate me.
And it comes back to as you start as a raver, it's still fun,
Yeah.
right? Everything's a little burning thing, like
Yeah.
trying out new reels, testing out. We all hate it, but like making a new reel, being like, oh, this is kind of cool that I just did this, and then building on top of that.
I'm too
I
old
just-
for that.
I just think I just think the passion is not really here that much anymore for the locals as there used to be. Like when God was an institution here, it was all about the locals, right? We had local
Yeah.
different rooms.
True.
Mark Oliver was headlining every Saturday, or
I
Imagine
messed
Strong.
up.
So it's like I think that passion for the locals kind of disappeared. And how many headliners do you see that are local here right now? Like, we can start naming names if we want, but
Yeah.
like it's I think it's just we're in such a commercial city.
I will say
I
though,
think that's one of the issues as well. There's
something that's so special about Montreal is like the locals in Montreal, like they have such a huge community that really rallies around them. I mean, even Oz has booked them here in Toronto,
It's just-
and they're
it's-
such like humble and great DJs. but-
I think the issue of trying to fix this whole local thing is a big fix in a big city like Toronto, a big metropolitan city like Toronto. For me, it's always about being like, I want to make a change in this city by doing what we do. But then I kept chasing that change, but it didn't lead to anywhere. So it's like I forgot. I basically just stop trying to make it change.
Yeah.
Let it just happen
I
organically.
mean, I remember back at Fly, you ran the competition where like local DJs could submit mixes, and then he picked one of them to be.
That's how we
opener
found
DJ.
Carlos.
Yeah, that's how we
Carlos,
got
yeah.
Carlos.
Silos.
I would do that.
That's how we actually like. He just randomly sent a set, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's great." And he started. And he opened for like Hernan Cataneo and
Wow.
Yeah.
Guy and a few other big names. And
Yeah, he was great.
He's doing some cool stuff now as well right now.
I
but
think he lives in Mexico now.
he's in Mexico now,
Yeah.
right? But yeah.
Nice.
Hearing is one of your most valuable senses, and nights at the club or festival puts it to the test. Repeated exposure to loud bass lines and crowd roars can cause irreversible damage, but it doesn't have to. Here's earplugs lower noise levels by up to 21 decibels, protecting your hearing while maintaining the sound quality you love. They're comfortable, effective, and designed for music lovers. You and your rave crew can save up to 30% with their group buy deal. Don't compromise. Click the link in the description now or scan the QR code on the screen. Don't wait till it's too late. Order today so you have it for your next event.
So a little bit more of a fun topic, if you have stories. Any funny riders you've received over the years working with artists? Has anyone stayed?
We had a request for a bulletproof car.
Oh, wait, what? Really?
yeah. It was the weirdest request. But I think why they put that in there is that they were trying to make sure that you're actually reading the contract.
Yeah, yeah. To be
Slick.
fair, a lot of the DJs at Oz Books in particular are like quite seasoned, and they're traveling a lot. Like you have to imagine, like sometimes when we're booking like Hernan, he's playing 4 days in a row. Like we're a stopover to the next event. So I like a lot of the riders aren't as crazy as you think they are, because they're usually submitted by the agents and the managers,
Yeah.
and they're just like the standard rider that just gets submitted. And half the time they don't even touch it.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of the progressive DJs don't even drink. Like their riders is
Well, you
coconut
mentioned
water.
banana. They just
but
want a banana.
I don't know what it is, but like I think almost 100% of the DJs Oz Books there's bananas, and I despise
It's the
bananas.
energy.
Like the smell of bananas
Keeps you
I think is horrible, and every event I have to go hunt down bananas, and it's like excruciating for me.
Slip
And
on
you have
the
to
peel.
like think about.
Yeah,
I
like
can't
I
get it
just
too
like,
green. It
and
has to
like
be just-
I'll be like my backpack smells like bananas now. Like it's
But
yeah.
we don't have like demanding artists. They've all been so super like chill and like easy. But one thing's for sure is like we don't like missing anything from the writer. So if there's like even like we were doing Kosh one time at Opera House, and like he had a request for a black T-shirt on his rider, and he's like downstairs in the green room. He's like, man, I've had this rider for like 10 years and no one's got me this black shirt.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, straight up. He's like,
I know.
no promoter has done this to me yet, and I've had this black shirt.
I thought you remember it because
Yeah.
he was just here.
Yeah.
He was like, wow, like, so those are the little things that matter. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These artists are traveling the world. Sorry, I cut you up, but these artists are traveling the world. They're away from home. The best thing you can do is make them feel like at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want to be comfortable. But I will say the only weird one I can really think of is homogenized milk.
Homo Milk by Solar
Which,
Stone.
like, yeah, Solar
Homo
Stone
milk.
loves homogenized milk, and he wants
Oops,
like,
sorry, Rich.
and it's not even just like but like he doesn't want like the little carton. Like he wants like the
Good
one
thing
liter.
this comes out after the show.
Oh, I mean, it's
He's
milk.
fine. He's
It's
fine. We
milk.
love you, Rich.
Sorry,
Don't
so are
worry.
you telling me that it's coming up for his upcoming show too?
No,
It's actually not.
I
on
think
this
no,
time.
not on this writer.
Not this one, this
But
one,
like
this
his
one.
previous writers
He
always
moved
had
on.
milk, and it was like, and I remember one of them. I think it was for a boat party, and he was like drinking the milk. I'm like, it's like 30 degrees outside. I'm like, why are you drinking this? And I'm like, I feel uncomfortable
As
watching
a
it. but-
progressive and trance artists, they're characters. They're
yeah,
absolute
I was convinced that
characters.
his like eyebrow piercing was getting larger every time we booked him, and he's like, "No, Jen, it's the same eyebrow piercing." But I was like, "No, that spike is getting bigger. I swear."
No, I see. It's
Sorry, yeah,
no crazy writers, but I have. I love going to other parties and drinking the DJ's rider.
Has any of the DJs ever stayed with like someone's when
I've had-
Angela was there, he apparently some of the DJs
They're
stayed-
friends with him, yeah.
yeah,
So they stay
and
with
then they're
him.
like one John who was on the podcast. He's like, I'm playing Mario Kart with Craig Connolly. It's like, when is this? What is this like?
Look, I've had a few artists that have kind of like stayed with. I've even shared beds with artists. That's a funny story.
yeah.
Let's get our head out of the gutter. But yeah. we were obviously just sharing a hotel room. I went to go see a DJ play in Denver, and we shared the bed because one king bed, and
yeah,
Gotta do what you gotta do.
you gotta do what you gotta
Yeah.
do. But it's like Europe's the same way. It's like you book on the beds are like this small. You're like, what are you gonna do?
But yeah, no, I've traveled with artists. I went to other shows in other countries with artists, and Argentina was freaking spectacular. Like that was fun. But yeah, no, you sort of become friends with these guys after many years. and I don't mind sharing my bed, sharing my food.
Nice.
Oz has taken so many DJs to Niagara Falls.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah,
They should be getting paid by the city.
There's this photo. I'm gonna have to share that photo with you
It's
too.
a staple, I find. It's funny too because I want to say that's huge in the hard techno scene, because a lot of hard techno is popping off here.
Yeah.
Like, and you see Vel booking it.
Yeah.
A lot of these artists are finally getting their visas to make the move
First
over
time
here.
here. Yeah.
And literally every single, like we talked to the other guys, Niagara Falls.
I
Niagara Falls.
I
Literally
live in Niagara Falls, and I hate going to Niagara Falls. So it's like, now I'm like, Niagara Falls, all right. Jen, are you free?
So, yeah. I've enjoyed this conversation, but we're going to talk about one of our favorite topics
sure.
always, the actual music. So I guess to round up this topic, we're going to talk about like trance, progressive, just the future, the past.
The dirty word, trance.
What is trance? What is melodic techno?
Well, melodic techno is just what the trance DJ should have done.
So we already talked. We already talked about how you shifted to more progressive styles from trance. That's obviously with the changing of the market, right? Like the market kind of changed,
Yeah.
the sound progressed. I guess any more thoughts on that?
I mean, again, like it wasn't. It was just naturally where our crowd was going, and it really made sense. And at the end of the day, for us, it's about like making those connections, and to understand is to perceive patterns. So you follow these patterns, and the patterns will usually lead to your answer. And obviously, doing more trance. We're going to be doing more trance parties. We did that Paul Van Dyke back to back with John O'Fleming, and they loved it so much
That
that
was so good.
they want to come back and do an open close.
That was a world debut, right?
That was a world debut, and actually now they're playing the Luminosity together back to back.
Yeah.
So this, as you can see, there is some waves happening, right? The same thing we did.
I feel like we're in that wave right now just because of what we've
100%.
happened recently. Tiesto, all this stuff.
100%. And it was a point where it's going. We were going back to the conversation about progressive and trance, but yeah. So that's really we're gonna definitely have more trance back. It's again, look, we listen to our crowd, we go with the vibe, and like I said, musical is cynical, it's cycles, right? And we're at a time where people are feeling, like they want to relive the past again. The world's in chaos at the moment, and people love remembering those times. And it's. I feel like it's the right time for us to start doing trance again, but only selective ones, and work only with people that we really love. I think I'm at a point in my career where it's like, I just don't want to work with anybody, like everybody. It's I want to work with the right people. They're passionate people, the people actually that care about the community and the people in the dance.
Any
Those are the
labels in particular that you've enjoyed working with?
Yeah, we loved working with Anjuna for a long time.
Yeah,
Lost and Found
yeah.
was big up before the actual
The Soundgarden.
the
Yeah,
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Yeah, those were like the main predominant. But when it comes to labels, I don't think that's really something we ever focused on as a company. For us, we wanted to build the Ozmozis brand and focus on building that brand. But as I mentioned earlier, that we're going to be having a record label coming. So I think that's going to be a big difference maker in what we do, especially with international reach. We already have quite a bit of international reach, but I think it's going to be an amazing gateway for people such as yourself, or any other producers who are making music, and hopefully we'll be able to help them reach their dreams.
That's huge.
And that's what the podcast is going to do. And I'm going to be working with a close friend on this podcast. His name is Demoot. He's also another artist. He told me this like 4 years ago. He's like, you gotta do a label, man. You gotta do a label. And all I could picture in my head was that moment with Hernan in 2010 in Miami. Patience. So Demoot and Hernan are friends too. So it's kind of like that moment showed up in my head. Patience. But I feel like now it's at the right time. And I do believe timing is very important. So that's good. That's going to be a big thing.
Nice. I'm excited to see the first releases and see where it goes, which is kind of cool. I have a question I wanted to ask you. I know we've talked about this offline. You know the reel we did with Angelo?
Oh yeah.
Do you have what's your
I somewhat saw it.
Preface on that.
If you want to bring up like some of the things, I'm happy to.
I had that reel and I'm like, I think if I post this, it might blow up. And it did blow up. It started a lot of conversation in the comments, and I was like, oh, okay. I know it's a bit more of how we talked about like like the sound, right? People like stuck in old sound ways, or like they have a different definition
Right.
of what trance is. I guess what was your take on that?
I mean, I think again, like we're seeing a lot of collaborations between trance DJs and techno DJs at the moment. Even John Summit and Armin, like they're doing a face-off. So, look, I think there was a period when trance was doing incredible, and then we had EDM pop up around 2010, and we saw a lot of artists move on from the trance sound into more commercial stuff, and I think that kind of like somewhat killed the genre itself a little bit. Not killed it, but slowed down. Everybody was talking about trance dying, but man, trance is not dying. Look at what TS.
I've
I
heard the
think
word
it's
so
just
much.
evolving.
I'm sorry, but like I
It-
love Angelo. He's my friend and he's my brother. But
It's just evolving. Like
It's
I
just
mean, like for
evolving.
example, a lot of like hard techno now has
It's
like
technically
to
hardstyle.
me,
It's
it's just
technically
like
hardstyle.
it just sounds like a lot of times like tech trance with
Yeah.
like a hardstyle kick, or a little bit of side trance in it, or sometimes minimal can sound like side trance as well. Like I think part of it is people don't necessarily want to use the word trance because they associate it with being like old or like kind of like uplifting
Comes back to
trance
what
or things
melodic
like
techno
that.
is.
they're all playing
So,
trance
like,
though.
Yeah.
They're all playing trance.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, techno traditionally doesn't have like that really deep melody, right? So, but I think
But-
it's best to just accept that people are gonna name music all the time like differently. Like I that commercial EDM sound, like that was progressive on Beatport, and that used to drive me crazy because I was like, there's nothing progressive about this.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
people are just gonna call it
whatever.
whatever.
What progressive
I know.
is because I'm just like
I'm like, people are just gonna call it whatever they want to call it, and
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier to just not argue it and just enjoy the music. Music is like there's so many genres where like Spotify tells me like this is what I listen to, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I have no clue what that means, but I whatever this is, I love it.
But one thing I find is that I'd like to say ashes, but like trance is almost everywhere.
Yeah,
It's influenced almost every genre.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for me personally, I think the biggest issue was that in trance, artists were not like tight working together.
yeah.
It was
very
more about
competitive.
me, and my name needs to be bigger on the floor than yours.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you kind of get to that stage, it's whereas you look at melodic techno, it was more tight, knit, Zamna, and all those like they're all the artists Afterlife. They're all sort of like meshed. They're all together. They're all pushing something, and I think that was one of the issues that we ran into with the trance scenes. Is there was a lot of individuality with, and so it didn't. So the genre itself lost its magic.
What's your take? You mentioned the John Summit. They've just announced Armin and John Summit.
What's my take on that?
I find it very.
can't-
I
I
was
What do you
like,
guys think?
picture-
Do you like
Very
I'm like, I literally-
interesting.
yeah.
I mean,
But I was trying to think of the marketing direction for it. I'm just like, there's got to be some.
I think John Summit's gonna fucking kill
well,
it.
I
Playing
think
trance.
John Summit
think
can
so, too.
play
I think he-
anything.
yeah.
To be honest, like he
I mean,
plays disco and everything.
The
so,
guy
like,
has musical, like his history with music is great, and he's someone, again, he's a DJ. He loves to dig, right? So I'm sure he was influenced by a few trance tracks
For
in
sure.
the past. So like, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's cool to see other DJs that are not specifically in the genre for trance playing trance. I think that's awesome.
I think it'll be interesting. I think it's with this popularity. Obviously, I think we're gonna have we're in that wave where I'm hoping. We're all hoping.
Yeah.
We'll see that trance resurgence.
Look,
where it'll attract. I mean, I guess it has to attract a bit more of the younger crowd. I think
Yeah.
that's the one thing that
Well,
the
I
trance
mean,
scene
Dream
lacks.
State had Tiesto do the all trance set again, which like that's such a big moment for any trance fan.
Yeah.
Is like having Tiesto going back to trance.
And then, but him also continuing on, he
Yeah.
ended his club life.
Yeah, I was
radio
very
show.
disappointed at Veld last year when he didn't play a trance set because I got my hopes up a little bit. But
Yeah,
But now moving forward, you're like, oh my god! Every time like Escapade,
yeah.
that's probably a trance set, which is kind of crazy to think about.
But you know, I can
maybe
also
I'll go to Ottawa.
I can also understand why Angelo was speaking the way he was speaking, because it's very, very frustrating and difficult, especially for new organizers or anyone looking to do this in the market. It's tough. Like he talked about how doing events and losing a lot of money and people not coming out. He's totally right about that. There's so much talk about people excitement online when we post about, hey, we should book this DJ this year. But when it comes to time when we make the booking, nobody's fucking buying tickets. So
Yeah.
like,
Comes back to the
Yeah,
I have
like,
a question
you know,
about the Toronto trans family poll, right?
You know,
I'm
so like it's great, but like if you're not out to support, and then you complain that there's not trance in the city, poof.
I think it's
Like-
just when it comes to the not coming out to support, I don't think it necessarily it's always that they don't want to come out. Sometimes they are just not capable of coming out because, you know, with giant things like COVID or like the economy or, you know, people losing their jobs and things like that, that ripple effect will impact the economy for years. And it really
Oh,
takes
yeah.
people a while to get their footing back or to feel confident again or, you know, get out of that scarcity mindset. So
I
a
can
lot of
agree
times
to
I do
this.
talk to people and they're like, I genuinely do want to come out, but they still have very that post-COVID scarcity mindset.
And then, yeah, I've heard this from other people as well. So she makes a really valid point. That's still kind of lingering a little bit, for sure.
Interesting. I didn't think about that because I know there was
Oh
that
yeah,
wave of people
no,
wanting
that
to go
we've
out.
had
Yeah.
we've had people that actually like just recently started coming out again, as
Yeah.
she mentioned earlier. That they're just feeling safe to come out again.
Yeah. But it's also even like because of, you know, at least when I first started working for Oz, people used to buy hard tickets all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And now everyone buys tickets online. But with online tickets, you have service fees and like there's just so many additional things that rack up the cost. So, and then people are like, oh, I want things to be more affordable, but travel costs have gone up, oil costs have gone up. So booking these DJs doesn't cost the same as
and it's
before
gone up
COVID.
too, right?
So that's what I'm saying. Like it's a domino effect. Some people just don't feel comfortable going out. Some people can't afford it. You
Yeah.
know,
So
there's
that-
still a lot
that's-
of
that's-
job losses.
They're
and
they're a
stuff.
lot more
There's a lot,
selective.
yeah.
with
Yeah.
where
And then
they're
that's the
going.
domino effect that's
Yeah.
affecting
And
us
I
as a
think it
company
takes
too.
years to come out of that just to kind of rebalance to what it was before. Because yeah, after COVID, like we were locked it for years, so you're very excited to get out. But once you're getting back out, you're realizing how expensive things are again, and then you're like, oh no, I can't afford this, and I've
don't-
got to dial back.
I don't blame people, and that's one of the reasons why we're shifting the way we're doing things. Like we said, last year we did 15 events, 15
Yeah.
shows, and there's been times when we did like over 20 shows in
I
one
know.
year.
You keep saying we're
And-
gonna do less events, but I don't know.
Well, I think like leading into next year, our goal obviously we have Brickworks, and now we're working with them to potentially have a partnership, obviously, to do shows there year round. So going into 2027, our goal is to do like 5-6 events there a year in the wintertime, springtime, summertime, spreading it out throughout the year. So that's going to take up a lot of our attention and time. And at the end of the day, we really want to build something where it's become a destination for people to attend. So not just people locally, but people from Canada, United States, Europe. Last year for the August show, we've had somebody came from Sweden.
Yeah.
We had a group of 25 people come from Ohio. So people
Oh.
are starting to like travel for these events. And in order for us to obviously make this possible, we have to,
Yeah, I remember for Hernan with Danny T, like there was a bunch of guys that flown from Argentina,
yeah.
and they had one of the guys asked me if I could take his phone to take a video of Hernan. I was like, yeah, no problem. But he was telling me that the first time he had seen Hernan play was 30 years ago, and I was like, wait. I'm like, where are you from? He was like, oh, I flew yesterday from Argentina. And he was like leaving the next day to go back.
Oh,
and I
wow.
was like, I can't believe you came all the way here just to watch Hernan.
And the funny thing is, I just started realizing all of this and how like we have such international recognition. It's like I was traveling to parties. So I was going to different parties and I was meeting people, and I don't even know who the person is, and they're talking to me. Oh, we love Ozmozis. I'm like, well, nice to meet you. It's like
Yeah.
so it's a cool experience to see that, and that what kind of triggered. And I was like, well, why do we make Brickworks a destination for people? Why don't we
I love
focus?
brickwork.
We love Look, don't get me wrong. I love nightclubs.
I love day parties too.
I love
So there you
they're
go.
my
Again,
favorite.
it's like
I'm
I
all
think
about day
that's-
parties
Especially
now.
with I want to say with the age of our scene, day parties, I can go home by like 11.
Oh my
Oh
God,
my
they-
god.
I mean, when we did like our first party back in 2019, we were lost. It was sold out, and it was such a hit that
Yeah.
we kind of already sort of had a sense of where it was all going to go like almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're at a stage now we're doing day parties, but
More day parties.
we were sort of like,
boat parties.
More boat parties.
no more boat parties, no more boat parties. Oh boy.
I-
You
It's
know
gonna be
there's
the title of the episode.
you know there's going to be a boat party somewhere.
Osmosis
Yeah.
boat party?
Yeah.
We always get what we want.
I know.
Should we do more boat
You know
parties?
what? Even though like with boat parties.
You want a
like,
boat
you can't
party.
control the weather and
Love a
everything,
boat
but
party.
like they are
It's a
so
gamble.
special. They're so memorable. Like at the LK Client boat party when you fire off the cannon, like it just like it's fun. Like it's nice. I
Yeah,
love
that was. It took me
It
10
embodies
minutes to
the
fire a
summer-
fire.
I know.
It embodies everything we love about summer.
I know.
essentially what it is.
Exactly. Like summer just doesn't feel the same if there isn't a boat party.
Oh, if you want to have fun with Oz doing shots, go to the boat party.
Oh my god, yeah.
This might be an episode on convincing us to do a boat party.
Yes, I know. Everyone send an email.
It's my
in.
life.
D-
This is my
DM
life.
Oz saying you want boat parties.
Don't ask for a booking. Ask for a boat party.
Yeah, ask for a boat party specifically.
You might get booked on the boat party. Who knows?
Yeah.
You never know. All right. To end this off on a very happy note, any favorite time period of progressive or trance you guys had? We'll go down the road.
For me, it has to be the 2000s, like early, like I'm talking like 1998 to 2002. I think between that time, there was some really good, like the progressive and trance was similar. It was very high tempo. We're kind of actually seeing, like I'm starting to see that again slowly,
Yeah.
more and more. But for me, it has to be that time frame, and also Euro time, like with Euro music, like Ace of Base and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really got into this music listening to like Euro music.
You're really old.
Who's that?
Next topic. But yeah, it did play a big role in my life. Like
Yeah. It's essentially what started you to start Osmosis,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
for me, it was always the old Injuna sound. The back when the trance around the world.
Yeah.
That's when my trance love started. Way back when TATW, obviously the first album that they released, Tri-State.
it hit different back then.
Just
Maybe it was the
so
ecstasy
different.
that hit different back then.
Can you say that?
A beep.
Beep. We say vitamins.
The vitamins.
The vitamins.
Sorry,
Um,
maybe the vitamins hit better back then.
yeah. I don't, for me, it's hard to pinpoint an exact moment because it's interesting because I grew up listening to a lot of like metal, punk, and rock and stuff. And I actually fell into trance by accident when there was still like Napster and
I feel like that's a
LimeWire.
lot of people.
That's a lot of people from heavy metal,
so,
like that
like,
listen to heavy metal.
Yeah,
They listen to trance.
I was trying to download a different song and I ended up downloading Eternity by Ali B, which is Tiesto and Armin van Buuren. This song came out in like 2001 or something.
Yeah.
And then that's how I discovered Gabriel and Dresden, which Tracking Treasure Down is my ultimate favorite. Like I put the song on loop for literally 15 hours. I'm
Those
not
guys are
joking.
awesome, by
I
the
will,
way.
15
They're
hours. I
cool.
will not listen to anything else but that one track.
Shout out to
Dave
Dave
and
Dresden.
Josh.
Oh.
Cool dude.
Shout out to Dave Dresden during COVID. Oh my god, those
I
quarantine streams.
love those guys,
Oh
man.
my
You know,
It's just amazing. But I guess like if I maybe favorite time of music was probably like 2006 to like 2012 ish.
Yeah.
But like I do love a ton of music now. Like Hernan has just come up with some really amazing fire releases. Simon Farabon. I love Hyunjia and Tantum. Those guys.
she's
are doing
awesome.
great.
Yeah, Canadian.
Yeah.
from Montreal.
Oh my gosh,
she's
she's
fantastic.
incredible. And so
Big fan as well. We booked her to open for Sasha back 3
that
years
was
ago.
so good.
But yeah, following up on what she said, yeah, that I think 2000s was like a really good time for
Yeah.
Yeah.
music, and I find myself collecting vinyl from that. Like
We're all old.
time frame.
But
Our age is
young-
always
young
young
at
at
heart,
heart. You're
young
young
at
at heart
heart.
because raving keeps you fit.
Yeah.
It does.
It's my only cardio.
I'm not gonna lie. There's been times where I want to quit all this.
Yeah.
Just I don't think I can.
hard.
I think
Yeah.
I'm addicted to it. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
But it's just like
yeah.
Oz is also
Well, you're
just
also
so
an industry
passionate about
member.
the scene.
I feel like once we're an industry member, you're like, well, it's kind of hard to quit now.
yeah.
Unless you just get
it's
frustrated,
It's
you just
just something that's always in me, and I always want. But yeah, it is a difficult scene. No,
Yeah.
it is a difficult scene.
I mean, he does care about the scene a lot. Like it does like he's always being very mindful of how to preserve kind of like that progressive and trance scene in Toronto
Yeah.
and things like
And
that. Because a lot of people do give up if something's not popular. They're just gonna stop looking up.
It's
Mhm.
hard. Wide writers than what to talk about. Could be finances, could be like venues, could be all that. It's just if you, yeah, it's tough.
It's
It's
tough.
tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough for anyone out there. Just keep that passion alive. I
Yeah.
think that's what we
100%,
always say.
yeah.
Keep that passion alive.
Mhm.
No,
Annie, you have a
For
time?
me, 2011 was
Okay.
when I was introduced to the rave scene, and
Okay.
I feel like I was lucky enough to experience like the golden era
Okay.
of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
raving with all those progressive and big room sound
Yeah, yeah.
with like Swedish House Mafia, Avicii, Alesso, and all that. That was actually That was
Yeah.
probably my most.
That was a good
memorable
time, so I
That was a
haven't-
very good time.
I
And
had-
like
yeah.
EDC for the first time in 2013. That was
Yeah.
amazing. Digital Dreams.
Yeah, I
Oh
feel
my
like talk to a lot
gosh.
of younger people now.
I remember.
Man, you totally missed that.
Yeah, that was like the. I feel like that was the
peak.
best.
That was like
I
peak.
remember
yeah, that
when
was the best time
Avicii
ever.
played at Government at the Sky Bar, and it was like one of the last shows there, and it was like 7 a.m. in the morning, and the sun was rising. We were just like, and then I drove him back to his hotel room in my like all 1996 LeSabre in my front seat, and like there's some amazing memories. Like that era was a great.
When I know, I think
crazy.
it's Paul Van Dyke that saved Ultra Miami because they were like a small festival, and he had made a deal with them, like because they were like trying to book him, but they couldn't afford him. He made a deal with them, and then he ended up helping Ultra become one of the biggest festivals out there in the world, and that's why they book him all the
Yeah,
time.
there's a lot of stories of artists that are doing
Yeah.
some similar
So
things where
Trance can be cool. It can save your life.
saved my life.
Yeah, it's meant a lot to all of us on this panel, which is great. Vaughn, how about you?
Good question. Well, complete transparency still. I mean, 26 years old. I'd say I got into like electronic
We need more,
music. Like,
Perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're hired. You're hired.
We need that.
We have
youth.
young blood.
You're hired.
Gotcha.
I'm like-
26. You're hired.
I'm
We need
literally
fresh
thinking about like
meats.
when we first met Buzz, and I was like, Buzz, wait, how old are you?
Perfect.
Like,
Anyways,
so
leave the
like-
guy alone.
It's all good. I'd say like my first Velds and stuff were like 2017, 2018, maybe 2015. And like I thought those big, like I thought Alan Walker and stuff were like the big crazy names. You got to go see them. Above and Beyond, I didn't recognize how important they were at the time. And then I'd say it was about like 2018. I got introduced to Tin Liquor was the first Anjuna artist that I
Yeah, we
listened to, and then I just became like just went right in. Like it's almost excessive sometimes. Like I got a chain on, and then I'm like, you know what? I lost this pendant for a bit. I got a tattoo.
Damn.
I met so
a
many
friend of
people
mine.
with a Judah
And then
tattoos.
and then since then that's just kind of been. It's kind of screws me over at times though.
and Junior family's amazing though.
The
Yeah.
Juna
In
love
terms-
runs deep.
It's
So yeah,
it's
when you ask
epic.
me what are some of your favorite labels to work
But-
with, yeah, Anjuna's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
They care about their artists.
Yeah.
I was at Wynwood last year for Open Air Miami, and just so great. Like I feel like I'm one of the younger people there, and not that matters, but like looking around you, it's like these people are here for the music, the vibe, excellent, right? And you don't find that everywhere. And it feels great. Like it just sucks you right in.
Yeah.
And I think
It
I've
feels
seen
like
you
the
many times. out at-
Music is first. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the music, and then the community is there. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's
Yeah,
a
music and
hand.
vibe. It should be always about
Was
music and vibe first.
2017 when Digweed played at Bell? Like at the shipping crate stage?
Yeah, you can tell she's a big Digweed fan.
I invest in
I
myself. You
think
mentioned
so.
Marsh. I
We
got
spent 10
rabbit
hours
hole-
in stereo.
The
banger.
rabbit hole, the rabbit
Oh,
hole.
that's
banger.
cool. I like
Hi-
that.
Hi do right there. It's like a track. Like it just
Haiju,
came.
yeah. That's another track called Koshin is a band called Haiju. It's a really good tune.
I'll check it out.
But yeah, Tin Liquor was actually we were the first ones that booked Tin Liquor in this
Yeah.
market.
Seriously?
Yeah.
At Nest,
Yeah,
right?
we booked
No.
the Brickworks.
Brickworks.
Yeah, so
That
we're the
is
first ones
sick.
that booked Tin Liquor. And there's a lot of artists actually that we booked for the first time in Toronto. We gave a lot of artists their Toronto debuts, but
Wow.
yeah, going back to you.
No, that's it. No, it's just, I mean, yeah, those were the days for me. Early entry.
And are you actively DJing at the moment?
Yeah. Yeah. So I DJ a lot down in Hamilton.
What club, if you don't mind me asking?
A club. So I work with a company or collective they call Dropspot,
Okay.
Dialed. They're typically higher energy stuff like bounce, UKG, stuff like that. But my buddy Dave's given me plenty of opportunity to do my own thing. And that's why when you were making that comment earlier about genre having an effect on, opening slots, whatever, I've always treated each gig I do have like a role. If I'm early in the night, I just want to get people bouncing, want to get too carried away. Closing slot, I mean, you can kind of whatever, people are kind of zombified by
Just
that.
try to keep them there. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
just
yeah.
trick. Keep them there.
Yeah.
You gotta keep them there.
So yeah, again, to be completely transparent, I haven't done much out here. I haven't put myself out there a whole lot.
When's your next gig in Montreal? Hamilton, Montreal.
Tonight, 8
Oh,
o'clock.
tonight.
It's a masquerade.
What's the one after? What's the next one after that?
You say it was a masquerade.
Yeah,
It's a masquerade. Oh
themed
man,
party.
I said I'd come, but I got other plans for tonight. But actually, I'm headed that
Dinner.
way tonight. So
Yeah,
who knows? What
yeah.
time is the party going till?
2. They got Hatirius is there tonight.
Oh.
Actually. Yeah. Churchatiras.
Okay, well,
So it's 2
see,
stages.
see how I feel after dinner. But
Hey man, yeah, he's gonna be late.
but yeah,
anyways.
next time you're opening or something, give me a shout. Maybe I'll stop by because I
Sick.
pass by Hamilton all the time.
Sick.
I like to hear if you have a mix as well. Send it to us for sure.
Awesome. I
We
appreciate
love
that.
to actually hear what you do here.
Yeah. Sick.
There you already got them interested because you're young blood. They're vampires. They're vampires. We're not actually pandas.
Yeah.
That's why we look so good.
That's it.
Yeah.
We need more
You
young
guys all
blood. I
look
think
very young.
whenever I
Yeah.
see young blood at a Trance event, I'm like, I'm not the youngest one here.
I mean, I don't know. I'm so much older than a lot of my friends. So I have never felt young.
No, but it's good to see like younger generation like you. Like it's amazing to see like the passion and the interest in good music.
Yeah.
I
It also
hope
gives
there's-
me hope.
I hope
it's
more.
Good music.
Yeah.
It is good music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get so excited if I meet like someone who's like 19 or 20 just getting into trance or regress because I'm like, oh my God, the next generation is here. Like this
Yeah.
music isn't gonna die out.
Awesome. Well, hopefully in 2026 we see the revival of trance. That's what we're hoping, or the wave, at least the wave, to see where it does.
Well, we are working on some stuff, and
Anything you want to share about that? We've
No,
talked about the
no,
label.
she's not letting me.
Oh, she's
share.
not letting you?
Not
Okay.
yet, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's
But-
gonna be good.
But just so you know, there was hints.
I was like,
There was
"Oz,
hints.
Look at
So
me.
maybe you
Don't
might
say
pick up
shit."
the hints. You might,
They're technically PR on this side. They're
favorite
not
DJs.
watching.
It's
You
still
know.
going
Favorite
back
party.
to our roots.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
But-
the
our
hint.
roots. Yeah.
Nice.
And again,
Going back to our
we, honestly, we want to keep continue working with artists that we love, and the ones that we love the most are the ones that are easy to work with and that trust in what we do. And I
Yeah.
think that's so important. And it was such a struggle in this industry, having the the agents, the management, or have them listen to us, have them understand that, look, we know what we're doing, that you can trust our vibe, you can trust what we do, and as much as we trust the artist with the vibe and the music. So
Yeah.
it needs to go both ways.
Yeah.
And when that happens, the synchronicity is there, you're gonna have an amazing party. Because
Yeah.
the DJ wants to even play better because they're naturally excited
You're
for it.
excited. Yeah. It's like that Instagram post that Stereo just posted about. Like,
Yeah,
love that.
Great
oh my
post.
God,
Great post.
absolutely loved it. I was like,
I didn't like the Charlotte DeWitt ticket drop though, but I love that.
Yeah.
I do appreciate. I just want to
Yeah.
touch upon that because that was funny. I'm like, they booked Charlotte DeWitt at Stereo. I'm like, this is insane. But I'm just like, there's probably no chance that I get a ticket.
I
It's
mean,
like-
look,
and they even said good luck to
I
everyone
I-
before. I'm like, I appreciate
I
that.
forgot to buy my ticket for John Digweed actually.
yeah.
So and I reached out to Stereo, to your owner, and
But that was
I want to pay,
so
like
good.
I want to come, but he was like, they gave me a ticket, and like obviously I replied back to Tommy, and I was like, thanks Tommy, I really appreciate that, because I haven't had a night like that in such a long time where I can like get on the dance floor and let loose.
Yeah.
And I feel like Stereo is the only place where I can do that. So thank you so much, Tommy, for
And
giving
that
us-
same sentiment is shared by Spencer Brown when he goes to.
I saw him. He was at the same.
Yeah,
we were at the coat check lineup
Yeah.
together. He was right next
He does
to
the
us.
same thing. He's like, once again, we all come back to Raver. For him, going to Stereo to
Yeah.
see John Digweed.
Yeah, he was right next to us.
brings the
Yeah.
Raver moment. in him
100%,
while he
and-
does it.
And then, it was nice seeing him on the dance floor. Just
Yeah. I will say, if you've never seen John Digweed at Stereo, like it's a must.
You
A
must.
must. It's
Almost
like,
every
it
New
will
Year,
change
guys.
your life.
Yeah,
you
almost
gotta go. John DeWeed. He's
I've
50.
drank
He's
the
53 years
Kool-Aid.
old, so he's getting old.
Oh my
Awesome. Well, I guess any final social plugs? I appreciate this conversation.
I mean, look,
so much. And
yeah,
the passion shows.
the best place for us, to connect is you can, connect with me on my Instagram personally. If you want to reach out to me anytime, you have any questions about what we do, or if you ever need any advice, or if you want me to listen to your mix, definitely just shoot me a message on my Instagram. Put it on silent.
That was an alarm. I don't know what for.
That's the hard stop.
Yeah, hot stop. Yeah, get out, time to go. But Ozmozis Instagram is the best way, or our website. Honestly, our website is the best way. If you want updates on events or pre-sale tickets and stuff like that, it's best to register for our mailing list, and you can do that from our website, as you'll be the first to know about any upcoming events or promos or anything like that.
Mailing list is key, guys.
Mailing list is
Yeah.
what we really focus on, because we feel that's really for us the connection, and we want to try to keep it off social media.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate this conversation. I learned a lot from you guys.
Thank you.
Vaughn
Thank
as
you
well.
for so
Thanks
much
for
for having
having
us.
us.
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming on. This was great. 2 hours. That's what I kind of
High five.
expected.
There you
High
go.
five.
High five. Whoops.
High fives all around.
Good stuff. My worst dad high five ever.
Tough reach.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning into this
Thank
week's
you.
episode. If you enjoyed it, please share it with a fellow raver. Like and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Just want to shout out a few of our local sponsors. If you have a night of drinking, we have Jelly IV to help your liver.
What's Jelly IV?
Jelly IV.
Sounds tasty.
So
I need
essentially,
some
it
of that.
allows for one up to 5 drinks and just liver protection.
Really?
Oh, I need
Oh,
that.
cool.
I need
Yeah, we need.
We'll get you guys
Hook
some
it
too.
up.
Amazing. Yeah, hook it
I
up.
need that.
Also, if
Sponsor
you're having
me.
travel plans this year, we have a code with Airalo B&B Hertz 15. You can get up to 15% off for your eSIM when you're traveling. Obviously handy when you're going to Europe.
Oh, it's
anywhere
great.
around.
I love it. We used it in Japan and Vietnam.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, after that, yeah, as I said, we appreciate this episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you for
Bye.
having
Bye.
us.